That was fun.
Yeah. This is the second show I've had to do a little introduction like this. Welcome to the show. You will notice you're going to have subpar audio for like 35, 40 minutes. The beginning of this show, something happened. We started recording and the record button hadn't been pushed. Or
we'd knocked it off.
Or we'd knocked it or something. Anyway, the first half of the first half hour, 40 minutes of the show, we luckily we've got the backup of the camera rolling because that means we've got the we had the backup from the camera up there. But unfortunately, as I said, the audio is a bit subpar from that. I do have to apologise. Hopefully, you can get through the first half of the show. I could not be fucked going back and recording the whole thing again. I know that's probably the professional thing to do, but I can't be bothered. So you're going to have to stick with that first 30, 40 minutes of subpar audio, and then you'll get to the good stuff.
And it's never as good when you go back and redo it.
No, I know. So just enjoy the show, and yeah, thanks for joining us.
We are human. Yeah, well,
sort of. Don't touch that. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Enjoy it. Fuck. Right, let's go again.
Eat my shorts.
Hello everybody! Welcome to the Dave Lee Down Under podcast. I'm of course your host, Dave Lee, and this is episode number 50!
I don't remember what it is.
You didn't look it up?
No, I didn't.
Is it just me or is it much louder than normal today? Maybe it's just my headphones.
Maybe you cleaned your ears out or something.
Maybe. Seems very, very loud to me, but I don't want to play around with all this. Oh, there we go. My headphones are just really loud. It's like blowing my ears out.
Yeah.
That was my way of giving you a little time to look up your...
It
was very loud though.
Yeah.
It was very loud.
No, mine was a little bit loud, but it's alright now.
Anyway, welcome to the show. This is episode 50. It's a bit of a celebration. I don't know if I have my applause sound effect anymore. There it is. 50 shows!
Half a century! 50!
That's the worst. They get worse every week.
Nah, 2 weeks ago that was worse.
What was that?
4 dozen!
Oh yeah.
48.
I think you had one last week which was really shit.
What was last week's one? Oh yeah, PC.
Oh yeah, if you go on the Wikipedia listing, it actually gives you, it describes what each one means.
Oh!
And PC apparently, PC 49 is some radio show in Britain or something, or was some radio drama, PC 49, and there's apparently like a tagline from it, so when they read out PC 49, everyone yells out the tagline for the show.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh god. A bit obscure.
Yeah.
Is that American or?
No, that's the British one, because you work up the British one, yeah. Anyway, you can join us every single Monday here on the podcast. It goes out on all the major podcasting platforms and all the small ones as well, but it goes out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music and Audible. The visual element is also available to view on YouTube. That's on the secondary channel, so if you're watching it, you're there, hit subscribe. We've almost got the watch hours up.
Ooh, have we?
We only need like a couple of hundred watch hours left, which is easy. But the subs got to get up at like another 250 subs or something.
Okay. So what are the subs up to?
Like 725 or 750 or something.
Okay.
So yeah, a little way to go. So hit the subscribe button, guys. Do it. And if you haven't,
get them up.
If you're not watching there and you're listening, head over there and do us a solid and hit that old subscribe button right there. You can find me on YouTube, the regular channels, Dave Lee Down Under. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd. There's links in the description of every single podcast. If you want to write on the show, you can shoot an email at daveleepod@gmail.com. If you listen to the podcast platforms, you can leave a review and a rating.
Don't like bad ones though.
Not the bad ones.
We're lucky we haven't had too many bad ones. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. give a good rating, but you give us a shit
I
comment.
think we've only had what must be one less than like 5-star rating, because the rating comes up as like 4.9, depending what platform you look at it on.
Oh, okay.
If you look at it on Apple, it's still a 5. So there you
Mm.
go. We did get one more rating coming this week. A little review.
Did we?
Yes, one coming in from Dio300, who I believe may have also just signed up to the Patreon.
Oh,
So I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
nice.
They say, I'm finally up to date with the podcast, and I can confidently say this is my favourite podcast to listen to.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I love listening to Dave and old mate Rick discussing films.
Mustn't have much in his life.
No, we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We do.
I had a couple of comments as well on the YouTube channel. It's Raven said, for the longest time, I knew of you as the dude with the massive Blu-ray collection, but since tuning into your podcast, I've come to appreciate you as a genuine entertainer.
Oh,
There you go.
again.
Yeah.
Mustn't have much in his life.
Alan Driver, our pal Alan, who writes into the show quite often.
Yeah. Been around for a long
He
time.
says, just finished this week's podcast episode, and you and Rick are like the Frasers of film.
Oh, is that good or bad?
I don't know. Well, we were talking about it last week. He's the one who wrote in last week and asked for tips on how to cure the depression when you're depressed, like film-wise and stuff. What would you recommend, whatever? And I think we mentioned something about we're not here to dole out the Frasier advice, the Frasier-like advice,
that's right.
not that comfortable. So I think he's saying, you're like the Frasers of film. It's always a pleasant listening experience. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
I
guys.
appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who
Appreciate
writes in
comments.
lovely things. We always like to read them out because we like to fluff ourselves up a little bit.
Makes an old man feel better.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I crossed... We're not only celebrating 50 shows today.
Oh, celebrating shitloads today.
Yeah.
Finishing off season.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Firstly, 50 shows. Crossed 100k on YouTube. Give me this little thing
Give
again.
yourself a little applause.
Thank you very much.
Has no one else gone?
Anyway, I know. Thank you. That's enough. Cut it out. Yeah,
It'd
100,000
be nice to
subs.
translate into shitloads of money, but
It would be really nice, yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool little milestone.
yeah, it is good.
I don't know what happens next. Apparently, I get a plaque. I don't know. YouTube has to...
Play button.
My play button thing. YouTube has to manually review every channel. Apparently, they crossed 100,000 before they offer it to you. So some channels like alt-right channels, all those kinds of things, they won't offer a plaque to, or people who are causing controversy, saying stupid shit or this kind of stuff. One of the stipulations is your content can't be like predominantly copyright material.
Oh, right.
So I'm a little bit worried because the majority of my stuff is using copyright material. It's all fair use.
It's all fair use.
I don't
so
know
it's
other
not-
people in my realm who have got theirs, so I don't think that'll be an issue.
Don't think that'll be an issue.
But yeah,
Because if it
I'm
was
waiting.
all copyright, you'd be having copyright slammed on the left,
Exactly.
right, and centre.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to have a copyright strike, I think, on your channel at the
Are
time.
we free of that?
Well, I had one strike, but that was ages ago. It's long gone, so I'm hoping that doesn't play into it.
I wouldn't
But
have thought so.
apparently, I got to wait for them to email me and offer it to me. It could take like 3 weeks. Apparently,
No, I don't
some
think-
people are saying. So
Well, we'll see what happens.
keep an eye on it. See what happens. If
they,
not,
if they don't, we'll just track them down.
yeah,
too.
well, pester 'em. Where's my play button? Where's my play button? No.
Then it'll take about 6 months to get here.
Yeah, apparently it takes ages. Well, it is what it is.
Yep,
I'm
exactly
happy
right.
to... That's not what it's all about. A nice little plaque is a nice little pat on the back.
Recognition
Little
of
recognition.
what, 5 years' work.
I appreciate, of course, everyone who has subscribed over the years and watched and liked and all that shit. It means a lot, and it's weird because you'd think you'd be very happy. Well, obviously, I'm very happy you get 100,000. You'd think you'd be like, oh, it's the best. But I'm just like, I want more.
What more work?
No. Less work, more subs. No, I appreciate it all. It is a weird thing because you do start getting that what is it? Like what's the word I'm looking for?
I got no idea. I never think of what's coming out of you.
Perception is like the word that I'm thinking, but it's not. Maybe?
Maybe it is.
Perspective.
Perspective.
You get that perspective where you hit 100,000, you're like, well, when you're on like 100 subs, you're like, oh, 100,000 would be great. You get to 100,000, you're like, well, it's not. Once you start understanding how everything, like the YouTube algorithms and everything's working, and you're on 100,000, you're still grinding and you're still struggling in some aspects, you're like, maybe this isn't as big as you thought. And then you see guys with like 1 million subs, and you're like, still so far away. So it is still a very small little stepping stone. But we'll...
it's a good number, though.
According to the analytics, we'll cross 1 million. If I keep going at the rate I am at the moment, we'll hit 1 million in 4 years.
Oh,
good luck, obviously. But it's a nice 10-year plan, isn't it, from the beginning?
Yeah,
1 million subs in
true.
10 years.
Well,
not bad.
You know of a couple that took that long.
Yeah.
10 years.
Some
8 to 10 years. Some take more, less. Yeah.
Well,
some just get some reason they just spike and away they go.
But anyway, I'm happy. I'm very happy to be at 100,000. It's very cool. But there's a long way to go. And
I'm nice if the algorithm and stuff opens up after 100k.
Yeah, I don't think it works that way.
No, it'd be nice if it did though.
It would be nice.
As a a recognition from.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows how it all works. But anyway, it's a good place to be. I'm very appreciative, of course, of everyone who has joined me along the way and is still here and all that shit. And now we get on with the show.
Got anything planned to celebrate it?
Well, I'm going to do like a live stream.
Yeah.
I was going to do it this weekend, but then I thought, can't be bothered. So maybe next weekend.
Grand final next weekend.
Oh, shit. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out. I'm going to do a live stream over the next... It'll be by the end of the month, maybe, or the beginning of next month. Yeah, I'll sort it out. I want to do it.
Yeah.
It'll be like probably... well, my peak time seems to be between midnight and mid-afternoon here, so like between 12 and 12. So I think it's probably going to be, I'll probably do it like 9 a.m. Australia, which is like, it could be like a 6, I don't know. No, I'll probably do a bit later, like maybe 11 p.m., which should mean it's probably like 6 p.m., 8 p.m., sorry, 11 a.m. for us. So that'll be like 6, 7, 8-ish overseas in America. Okay. So I'll figure it out. It'll be like in the evening.
What about 11?
Yeah, it'll be like late night. But I feel like that's kind of... It's a time I haven't tried yet on the live streams. It might be a good...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We'll try it anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like it kind of... It'll be a weekend. Probably like a Sunday morning for us or a...
Give the Aussies time to get up and have breakfast and settle
exactly.
in and join us.
Yeah, we'll try
Join
it.
you.
We'll try it. Yeah. We'll try it. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty cool. And... yeah, excited for more work. Update on the packages. We were hoping that we would celebrate the arrival of my parcel that's been back and forth here to America and back to America and back, and it's been stuck in customs for ages. It still hasn't moved. It's still sitting there.
Postal system ping pong.
Yeah, it's awful. Postal system is absolutely jammed. I'm starting to question whether it is even there. I got back in touch. Obviously, last week I reached out to Post. I was like, what's going on? They're like, oh, yeah, we see it's in a container just waiting to clear customs. And then once it's cleared customs, we'll have it. And I said last week, I was like, every time you get that kind of, oh, your parcel's waiting in a container to go out, it's a little bit of a red flag.
Yeah.
There was one item I ordered when I was overseas. We ordered Alicia's parents a television on Amazon. And I can't remember the courier. It was really... shitty courier that was supposed to be delivering it, and
that's when they were using a really dodgy courier.
It's like a really dodgy one, yeah. And it sat in a container on a truck at their warehouse for about 3 weeks, and this was the official story. I kept calling, what the hell's going on with the TV? We've ordered this on Prime. It's supposed to be express. Where's the television? And it's one of those companies where it's really hard to get onto them. You can't call them. You can't email. But once you finally get through them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's in the warehouse on the truck, waiting to go out." And after 3 weeks, they were finally like, "Oh yeah, we don't know what's happened with this fucking 75-inch television that's supposedly sitting on a truck in a warehouse waiting to go out for 3 weeks." So yeah, anyway, every time I've had that, it's just sitting there waiting to clear. It's a bit. So anyway, I reached out to him again yesterday. It's about my.
What we should do? We should get a little red flag and something. Can't we?
Yeah, the red flag. Well, the people listening.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They can hear it flapping.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
Anyway,
you know how
I don't know what my story was now. I called him again. I was supposed to. Of course, last week, that was the story I got about my parcel. Waiting to clear customs. This week, I got on. They were like, oh, I see that it hasn't even come into the country yet. I was like, are you sure about that? Because I've been through this and I've been told it's there waiting. Oh, let me just reset the system. I've been a bit glitchy. And they come back, they're like, oh yes, I see that it is waiting to clear customs and we have no control over that.
Did you tell that operator that that's what you'd been told initially?
Yeah.
So it's not there. And they're just going, no, that's where it is.
No, I didn't tell them that. I told them, I was told by someone last week that it's waiting to clear customs. What's going on? And then they said, oh, I have no information that it's even in the country or has ever been in the country. And then I said, well, actually, because my tracking says it's in Sydney waiting to clear customs. Let me reset the system. Oh, yeah, I see that it is in Sydney waiting to clear customs. So I don't know what's going on. It's a bit annoying. It's a parcel again. Good friend of the podcast, a good guy, Derek. He's got me some stuff through the Disney Movie Club over in America. I paid him like $200 Australian for these discs. And if they disappear, I'm just going to have to fucking pay $200 for them again. Which is a bit annoying. But anyway. So anyway, that's what's going on there. But I did have, what was the other one? Oh, you were talking about my JB Hi-Fi parcel last week. I placed 2 orders on JB Hi-Fi, express shipping, because over $100 in Victoria, they're sending express shipping at the moment because of the lockdown. First order arrived within 24 hours, very next morning. Second order went processing and then just never got picked up. I finally got onto them last week. I was like, what's going on? The courier was like, we have no information about the parcel ever being picked up. JB Hi-Fi is like, well, actually, we have information about the parcel being picked up. We'll look into this. They did like this whole, they opened like an investigation and finally came back this week. They're like, oh, yeah, we're going to have to declare the package as lost in transit.
Oh, God.
And now they've asked, what would you like, a refund or a replacement order? I said, replacement order, please. And I haven't heard back in about 3 days, so I don't know what's going on.
Unbelievable.
So everything's up in the air at the moment. So hopefully we'll have an update for both of those parcels next week. Hey, before we go on, it's a very happy show, very lively show, but occasionally it does come down a little bit. We've had some sad news coming this week. Norm MacDonald passed away.
Yeah, but he said,
yeah,
Norm.
That's one that hit me a little bit because I've loved Norm's stuff since I was a kid. He was, of course, in Billy Madison. That was his first feature film that he did, yeah.
Didn't realise it.
And he's so great in that. And I've just grown up with he's just one of those guys that's just in stuff. Yeah. He just pops up in stuff and does some great stuff. Of course, he hosted, he's done The Norm Show, which is a great sitcom.
That was a great show.
I ran for a little while. He's done various, panel shows. He was on Saturday Night Live in the 90s. He was really great on that. Family Guy, he did the voice of Death. I can't remember if he was the first voice or the second one. I think because Adam Carolla did the voice as well. I can't remember who was first. One of them took over. I think Adam Carolla may have been first, then Norm took over. And Norm was also in The Orville, which is, we haven't watched it yet, but it's Seth MacFarlane's Star Trek spoof series. Yeah. It's like a sci-fi spoof series.
He can't have been too old either.
61.
61.
Yeah.
So, a couple of years on me, but not me.
Surprised that he was older than you, actually. But, but his stuff is always great. I've loved him, and he's just always been in stuff that I've watched growing up. And a great comedian, very black, dark comedy.
Yeah.
He's just a great guy that he pops up and you're like, Norm! Yeah, yes, Norm!
Exactly right.
So it's going to be sad to just not have him pop up in stuff anymore. There you go. So
no, he's fantastic. Just watching Norm.
Had to spotlight on that. And very sad loss. Apparently he'd been battling cancer privately for about 10 years, 9 years or something.
Yeah, I'd heard about that years ago.
I don't think it was. I don't think he ever made it public. There's a private. No, apparently, all the news that came out was that it was this private battle.
I'm pretty sure there was something he was on about 3 or 4 years ago where they mentioned it.
I'll double check on that, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I can't remember who it was with either. But yeah, anyway. Sad to see him go.
This is a Hollywood Reporter thing. Bill Maher commended Norm MacDonald for keeping his battle with cancer private, with the news only revealed after the comic actor died.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah, there you go.
I heard about it. A few years back.
No. There you go.
Obviously somebody else I'm thinking of.
Probably. Anyway, there you go. Oh, actually, talking about cancer-related things. Jeff Bridges has had this battle with cancer over the last couple of years. He's apparently all clear now. And he's in remission and he's ready to get back to work. That was another story that came out this week. So it's a little bit of
nice.
Kind of the lighter side.
It's good when people can sort of overcome that sort of thing, but it'd be hard to live with that for the rest of your life, having it hanging over your head.
We've come back. But
of course we know a few people that have...
Touch wood, yeah, exactly right. Been in and out.
Some very close family and friends.
Yeah, so Jeff Bridges, that's the upside. And he's ready to get back to work. He says he's feeling good and ready to go. So touch wood for him.
He wasn't looking well for a while there.
No.
He wasn't looking well at all, was he?
No. But there you go. Good on him.
No, good stuff.
All the best to, not that they're listening, but Norm's
family.
And
hope they're all coping and doing well.
And all these fans, of course. There you go. So with that, let's get into the lighter part of the show, which is going to kick off with...
What a picture. Good picture, yeah. It's so much fun.
What we've been watching.
So much fun.
Yeah, it is. It's going to have some fun. Talk about some movies we watched recently, catalogues. Start with these ones. We both watched The Big Steal, which is a Aussie film from the early 90s.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Starring Ben Mendelsohn.
I love Ben.
He's
one of my favourite Aussie actors, Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah, he's great. He's hit it huge in America recently, probably in the last decade.
Yeah.
Off the back of that Animal
House? Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. Yeah, Animal House.
Toga.
Wrong one. No, Animal Kingdom.
I remember going to a toga party years ago.
No.
And it was held next door.
Oh, right, yeah.
And people were sort of, walking around with their togas on and just yelling, toga all night. It was a debaucherous night.
As you would. So we watched The Big Steal. It's got Ben Mendelsohn, who you would recognise, if you don't know him by name. He was Krennic in Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One. He had like a bit part in one of the Batman films. We'll talk about him a bit later. He did a series on HBO called The Outsider. He's done heaps of stuff in Hollywood at the moment. But he's great. This is like one of his first films. Also has Claudia Carvin, great Australian actress, and Steve Bisley, one of my favourite Aussie performers as well. Frankie J. Holden was in there too, for just a little part. But this is great. It's one of my favourite Australian movies ever. It's a great little comedy movie. Umbrella has just released it on Blu-ray. It looks gorgeous. The new transfer is stunning. It's such a good movie and it holds up.
It's in that same sort of category as Malcolm for me.
Yeah, well, it's the same filmmakers.
No, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it's that same time around, what was it, 80...
Malcolm was late
90s.
80s, early 90s, Big Steal,
Late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, so it's that little quirky Aussie, what would you... They're comedies, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a comedy.
But they're just really nice, light-hearted, fun little films to watch.
So love that. Really good to revisit that. It's been a long time. Pardon me. It's been a long time since I checked that one out. I also checked out one called The Straight Story this week, which is really great. This is a David Lynch movie. He's called it like his...
That was good.
Hey, David Lynch has done a lot. Actually, to be honest, I think I've enjoyed everything I've watched of David Lynch's stuff except maybe Eraserhead. The Elephant Man was David Lynch. Terrific movie.
Great film.
Mulholland Drive. Blue Velvet. Eraserhead. Michael loves it. Family friendly. I can't stand it. But he's done some great stuff. And this one's called The Straight Story. He calls it like his most experimental film. I think in that regard he means it's like his most kind of mainstream sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's his story about this guy. A true story about this guy who journeys across the country to reconnect with his brother, but he drives there on a little tractor. Not a tractor, a lawnmower.
Lawnmower.
Yeah. And hitches his like hitches like a little caravan thing at the back, like a little trailer with stuff. The main actor, whose name escapes me at the moment,
Richard Farnsworth,
terrific in it. And he was suffering cancer at the time too, or some illness at the time of the film.
and powered through it, suffered through the illness while he was making the movie because he really wanted to pay tribute to this guy who had done this big feat, and he committed suicide the next year.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yeah, very sad.
The actor?
The actor, yeah,
really?
the actor did, yeah.
Oh, that's really sad.
Apparently, I think his legs were, he paralyzed, his legs ended up paralyzed. Something, he was suffering quite badly. Oh, and it was kind of working into the movie as well. But the following year, unfortunately. It's also got Sissy Spacek in there, who's always wonderful. And very good movie, very touching, sort of life-affirming film. And I would recommend it. That's out from Imprint as well at the moment, from Viavision's Imprint range. I've just put that on Blu-ray. Great movie. Also from Imprint, I checked out Double Jeopardy. This is Tommy Lee Jones and Ashley Judd.
Yeah,
a really great actress from the 90s. I thought it was fun. I love these 90s thrillers. I mean, it's not the best movie ever, but it's fun. And it's got little twists and turns. It's a bit suspenseful, and I liked it.
It was okay.
It's alright. It's a 90s thriller.
Yeah, exactly right. No.
Ashley Judd. Geez, this is a really sad show today, but Ashley Judd had a massive accident earlier this year, or late last year. She was trekking somewhere overseas, Africa or something, I believe. She's been doing some humanitarian work and fell into some sort of hole or something. Some massive, horrific trip, and she broke her leg in like 8 places. Broke tendons and nerves and everything, and she's, it's terrible. It's the first I'd heard about it, because I was thinking, well, what she's up to these days? I hadn't seen her do much. That's quite sad to discover that, because she was wonderful. She did a lot of really fun movies in the 90s and whatever, but yeah, there you go. I enjoyed that. That was fun. Another one I watched, didn't really like this one too much. Days of Heaven. This is directed by Terrence Malick, who's your favourite director. He directed your favourite film, The Tree of Life. He's done some alright stuff, like the Thin Red Line was a Malick film.
That was a good film. I enjoyed that.
This one I didn't shot gorgeously, beautifully, but it was just I just found it a little bit dull. People love it though.
It's got a 7.8 rating. Yeah. IMDb.
It's one of those ones people love and have been waiting for to come out on Blu-ray for a long time. Richard Gere, one of his very first roles, if not his first role, very good in that. Sam Shepard, a few others are in there too. It's alright. Check it out if you're into that Terrence Malick kind of stuff. But
not too many Richard Gere films I really dig, I don't think. He plays some pretty insipid sort of roles, doesn't he?
Nothing really comes to my head. Pretty Woman it's alright. It's about really it. Gigolo, what's the Gigolo? American Gigolo is good.
American Gigolo is good, yeah. Didn't he do... Was he that did 9... No, that was 9.5 weeks. That was... what's his name?
Hugh Grant.
No.
9.5 weeks. Can't remember that one.
It was called 9.5 weeks. I'm
sure that was Hugh Grant, 9.5 weeks.
No, there was a...
You got IMDb open right there. You can just do a little search.
Yeah, I can. I'll just check.
You like the challenge, do you? 9.5 weeks. Mickey Rourke.
Kim Rourke, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, right. There was like a rom-com that was like something like Weeks. That was like Hugh Grant or anyway, doesn't matter. 28 Days. There was one with Sandra Bullock, I think. Anyway, Richard Gere was also in Chicago, which I really liked, which was quite good.
I wasn't a big fan of Chicago.
I liked it.
It's a musical, but you know.
Yeah, but it's fun. Anyway, that was okay. Check it out if you like that kind of thing.
First Night.
First
was
Night.
Okay.
I can't remember that. What was that one? Oh yeah, I watched that not long ago. The Arthur, King Arthur, yeah, with Sean Connery in there for like 1 minute, and he's on the poster. Yeah. Crikey.
Primal Fear was okay.
Oh yeah, it's good.
No Mercy.
Yeah.
Cotton Club.
Oh yeah, it's alright.
He's done some good stuff, but nothing that's really overly memorable, you know.
Yeah, I think Pretty Woman's probably his most memorable role. If you were to think of him, you'd think...
Officer and a Gentleman.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that last year too. Or this year, really good.
Take it back. He's done some
pretty good stuff. Yeah. Other than that, we watched As Good As It Gets. This one's also been released from Imprint. As you can tell, I'm going through all the stuff that I'm in that period where I'm going through all the stuff that the distributors have been sending through. Oh man, I loved it so much.
That's such a good film.
Been a long time since I saw it, so I didn't remember much of it, but it's so good.
Yeah,
Jack Nicholson is my favourite, probably. I think if I have to pick like top 5 actors, Jack Nicholson is in there.
That's right,
for me.
Yeah, same.
He's so good in that film. It's like one of his best roles ever.
The greatest thing about him is that he can say something without saying nothing.
Yeah.
His facial expressions, and he just
very good. True performer.
Lifts a little eyebrow and opens the eyes, or a little smile or something, and you can read exactly what he's thinking.
I loved it. I think it holds up very well as an enjoyable movie. It's a bit dated now. There's some stuff in it you couldn't get away with now.
Oh no, that's right.
But it's another one of those nice little kind of relics of its era. And again, as we always say, you got to view these movies through the
goggles of the time that it was made.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so good. I really loved it. Helen Hunt too, wonderful. And Cuba Gooding Jr. and what's his name? Greg Kinnear. Just a really great cast. Some other people. Jamie Kennedy pops up for a little bit.
That's right. That was a real surprise. There.
Oh shit, Jamie Kennedy. So funny. But yeah, great movie. Love that one so much. If you can get your hands on that through... it's like a comedy, drama comedy. I feel like I talk about all these movies that I feel like everyone should know about, but then hardly anyone does know about.
Drama, comedy, rom-com sort of thing.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Oh, so good. Another one I watched, you caught the back end of this one. It's called The Chase. Robert Redford. Actually, Marlon Brando is the lead. Robert Redford is billed like second or third, but then he's in it for about 15 minutes. Jane Fonda, huge cast of people. I really loved it. I thought it was so good. This is one I've owned on DVD. I owned it on Blu-ray, and then I've owned it on Blu-ray again because Umbrella sent it across because I just released it on Blu-ray. I had the older Indicator release that I imported from the UK a number of years ago. But now finally got around to watching it because I had the excuse to watch it. It's so good. Yeah. Marlon Brando is fucking incredible in that. I think it's probably my favourite role of his, next to A Streetcar Named Desire. He's just terrific. Like peak of his stardom. Just kind of so good.
I didn't realise Angie Dickinson was in there.
Yeah, she's like in the whole thing. You must be paying much attention.
No, just didn't recognise her.
Yeah, she was with Marlon Brando most of the time. Yeah. E.G. Marshall is in it, and a lot of other people that you can put on the bingo card. People, Dave Lee talking about that.
Robert Duvall.
Duvall was in it. Quite young. Very good. I enjoyed this. What was this? Early 70s, late 60s. So it was,
66.
Because Brando and Duvall both would have went on to do The Godfather together, which was a number of years later. And
it's funny watching that too, and having done the studio tour at that morning.
Oh yeah. And
you can picture the the courthouse or the police station. Yeah, it's been used as a courthouse and been used as hospital.
Funniest thing is that courthouse area, that courtyard. If you're not familiar with what we're talking about, think about the Muppets, the first Muppets movie. There's like a dance sequence through it. It's like whenever you see like a little middle America town in like a TV sitcom or one of these older movies or something, it's always this same thing. And there's always like something which they either set up as like a police office or not recording.
Really?
Yeah.
None of it?
No.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right, it's pressed now.
Yep.
It's on now. Apologies. That was the moment of the show where I realised the audio board was not going. But this is what I mean. You can still hit 100,000 subscribers and still be really fucking shit at your job half the time.
I haven't done too bad. We only fucked 2 of them up.
Well, this is the second show. I've known this whole time. I've been thinking, one of these shows.
You're not going to press
one of these shows is going to get halfway through and realise it's not recording. It's happened to be 50th show celebration.
The funny thing is sometimes, because the red button's on when we're recording, and I see a green light and I think we're recording sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's red.
I keep forgetting that, but it's red.
So anyway, we're back. You've got good audio now, which is good. Sounds much better, I know. But anyway, we'll get back into it. We're talking about the chase and that little. We noticed that they were using that that sort of the backlight from Warner Brothers Studios.
Yeah, that's right.
I was about to tell a funny story. You notice a lot of the time in these movies they're using this little sort of mid-America sort of town setup that they've got going on in the backlight there. And at the very end of it is it's this big white building with these stairs and these kind of, what do you call them? Columns. They usually dress it up as like a courthouse or a police station. Or, anything like that. I was going to tell a funny story because when we were there, there's actually, you'll notice there's a big, anytime you see this on screen, The Chase is an example. Rebel Without a Cause, the first scene, the police station is there as well. Numerous other movies. You'll notice there's a green light pole outside it as well. When we went now this is the magic of movies. When we went there and I was like, I'm going to get a picture in front of this thing because it's so iconic. I leant against the light pole and it went, woo! Started shaking. I was like, oh no, I've ruined it. Magic of movies. It's not even in there properly.
Down.
No.
So they just move it around when they want to change position. Yeah. If it gets in the camera's way.
Yeah.
Oh, just move that, 3 feet that way.
Exactly. So
no
anyway,
one will notice.
So anyway, that's about it for catalogs. We watched a movie last weekend called Hostiles.
Yep.
Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the lead in the lead female in that? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I can't remember.
It also had a good cast. There it is, right there. Well, I don't want to say Rosamund Pike, but I can't. I'm not sure if it was. Was it Rosamund Pike? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I thought, Sam Shepard. A really great cast of people in that. It was good. I liked it.
Sam Shepard.
Yeah.
Scott Shepard.
Scott Shepard. Oh yeah, not Sam Shepard. No, Scott Shepard.
No.
No, good. Yeah, had a really good cast in there. Yeah. Jonathan Majors, who's awesome,
and Bill Camp.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah,
a lot of good native actors as well.
Yeah.
Adam Beach.
Yes, who's in a lot of great stuff.
He did. What was that war film?
Wind Talkers.
That was a great film.
Great movie.
Loved that film.
I've watched that a long time. Anyway, this was a good movie. I thought it was a bit slow. I don't mind a slow burning western. So I did enjoy it, but it wasn't the great. Like I didn't love it, but it was still good. So I fell asleep a bit. You fell asleep a bit.
Yeah.
Still kept up with the story though. It's very slow, very sleepy, but it's okay.
Enjoyable, very enjoyable. What is it? 7-2.
Yeah, not that means much these days.
No,
as we've learned from our little game that we'll be playing very soon.
Yep.
Let's talk about what we've been watching on television this week. Marvel's What If. This week's episode was What If Killmonger Rescued Tony Stark, and we didn't watch it.
No.
We haven't watched it yet because we just had no motivation to watch it this week.
No, the last one was a bit shit too.
Yeah, I'm just not motivated to really watch it.
No, it's not as good as I would hoped. No,
the first few were
couple
really
were good, but the last couple haven't been the greatest.
Yeah, it's just one of them. We'll watch it. We'll finish it.
A bit thin.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting concept. I feel like it's probably going to all tie together at the end in some way. I don't know. And I know that in some way it is going to have ramifications on the type of storytelling that Marvel can be doing in the live-action movie. So I know it's going to be an important piece, but it's just nothing that I'm just that motivated to watch straight up. So we'll get to it.
No, we'll get through it.
We'll get to it.
Hopefully it's not going to be another Deadwood.
No, I don't think so. It can't be that bad. Can't be that bad. We watched Ted Lasso, of course, as our favourite show of the week. We watch that every single Monday.
It.
So at the time that this podcast is going out, we're probably watching the next episode of Ted Lasso. Yep. In fact, I'm usually posting that the podcast, I usually get the email that comes up, bloop, your podcast live while we're watching Ted Lasso. So there you go.
Just not enough of it.
No, I know.
I could watch. They could like make one every week of the year, I reckon.
Yeah,
well, probably get sick of it, but
yeah, that's what I mean. But it's good.
I love it. I love it.
So anyway, we got Derek wrote in this week. He said, "Hey Dave, any luck on the package movement since last week?" He asked me, "No, it's the package that we were talking about before." Derek's the one who sent it out. Yeah.
Yep.
But then he says, also wanted to say you guys suck.
Well, we know that.
Yeah. But then he says, I'm now addicted to Ted Lasso on Apple TV Plus.
Sucker.
So, I mean, every week there's someone new who goes, you know what, I'm going to give this show a go. Can't be as good as everyone says it is. And then, oh, fuck, this is the best thing ever.
Yep.
I love it. It is just, I'm watching it this week thinking.
It's a real gem.
I was watching it this week thinking, I'm in this moment now, watching this episode of Ted Lasso for the first time. This is like the greatest. You just know when there's just a show you're watching, like this is something that's really special. This is something that's gonna like live on for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
And I thought, because I always think like all these sitcoms, I grew up with all these like classic sitcoms, Frasier, Friends, Everybody Loves Raymond, The Office. You don't get stuff like that anymore. And like for many years, I've been thinking like The Office is like that last like great
really,
sitcom, like classic.
Yep.
And then you have something like Ted Lasso that comes on, and you're like, fuck, this is going to be like up there in
without doubt.
You kind of think there's no way you could ever make anything that's like as classic as the classic stuff, but there's always going to be something that comes along that's like, fuck, put that up there.
And you sort of hope that it goes on for 5, 6, 7 seasons.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, you think it'd be great if it finished after, say, 3.
I think they're only doing 3.
Oh, there you go.
Because there's the 3 tiers of the competition. So
that's right.
Soccer. So they start at the bottom, now they're in the middle, and then obviously the last season they'll probably find themselves in the Premier League or something.
Yeah.
And then makes me want to watch soccer. Makes me want to like get into soccer and stuff. And then I'm like, nah.
I'm sure Alicia will love that.
No, I said to Alicia once, I'm sure I said this on the podcast, I was like, oh, Alicia, I could get into it. I think. I'm like, I'm loving this Ted Lasso. Even the scenes like on the soccer is like great. I'm like, I'll get into it. She's like, no way. You will not. No. She's like a diehard Liverpool supporter. So, there you go.
After, watching a game like ours, like, where it's just fast-paced and,
boring.
People bashing into each other, it can be pretty slow and dull. Sorry to all you English people out there who love it.
No offence. Only Murders in the Building we watched again this week. Wasn't the best episode, but it was
still a good show, though.
Still great.
Yeah.
Just love Steve Martin.
Yeah.
I just sit there thinking,
And Martin Short, I look at him and just think,
funny man.
How do you keep getting work?
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, I know, but his humour is like so
he's never been like on the Steve Martin level for me. But he's fun. But no, I sit there, I'm like, this is like a great time to be alive. I get to watch a new little Steve Martin thing every single week. It's just great. I was going to say it's been renewed for season 2 already.
Wow. I
kind of wish they'd held off on the announcement, because it's fun to watch this thinking like it's just going to be its own little contained thing and that there'll be like a finality at the end. But now knowing there's another season, you kind of feel like, maybe
there's another murder in the building.
Maybe there's a different murder. Yeah, well, it is only murders in the building, so they could do different ones. So anyway, this is become the most watched premiere on launch day on Disney Plus Star.
That surprises me.
Which is what we have here. It doesn't really surprise me because we haven't had that much on Disney Plus Star just yet.
Yeah, but considering it's Steve Martin and Martin Short being older, older comedians.
Well, I was going to say what surprised me more is that it's also the most watched Hulu original comedy on premiere day. And also the most watched comedy on premiere day across all of Disney's video-on-demand titles ever on the platform.
Really?
Yeah. Additionally, the 20th television produced series has maintained a 100% certified fresh Rotten Tomatoes since it launched.
Shit.
Now, Hulu, of course, is the American subsidiary of Disney. Yep. They have their own, it's like their more mature streaming service. Yep. But here we get Disney Plus Star, which is something they added. It's like a separate section of Disney Plus where all the Hulu stuff goes. Yeah. So it's all in one.
Adult content.
Yeah. So we're getting that on Disney Plus Star, and then the Americans, of course, get it on Hulu. But what you're saying, that was my first thought, was like, I'm really shocked it's done that well.
Well, just purely and simply because Steve Martin, like he's an 80s comedian. And Martin Short's
even 70s,
about the same.
Like late 70s.
Yeah, late 70s, early 80s, I suppose.
Yeah.
So he was huge. So that sort of surprises me that it's probably because of what's her name?
Well, yeah, Selena Gomez has got the younger draw.
And that was probably a deliberate ploy for that.
Oh, of course it was.
For that reason.
Of course it was.
Pick a young,
a
young, spunky sort of,
performer
to sort of play that third role.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's
to bring in that younger crowd.
Yeah, the business behind
keep themselves as relevant as they can, I suppose.
Well, yeah, but I still feel like Steve Martin's probably a big draw for my age range. Well, maybe not even my age range.
For my brother.
For your brother. For your age range.
Yeah.
Which is really Hulu. Well, I think Hulu really gears itself towards kind of younger, maybe like, it might be like, 18 to 45 or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, very surprised, very happy that's going to get its second season. Very, very cool. Other than that, we've started watching The Outsider, which is another HBO series that we're a bit late to.
And this is another one we sort of started, multiple times?
Well, you watched it by yourself first, and then you were like, hey, you got to check this out. I was like, I wanted to watch this. And you're like, all right. So then we watched one, and then Mum was like, what's this? And then we were like, all right, watch it again. And then we dropped it for like a year. For some reason or another, we just didn't go back to it. Because I think at that time we had on the Foxtel box, you'd recorded it on cable.
Yeah, maybe.
And then I bought it recently, and then it finally got time to let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
Bit of a Deadwood thing, wasn't it? Start 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
But it's nothing like
But it
Deadwood.
wasn't so much like, I can't be bothered going on with this. It was just one of those things.
Just one of the things that just didn't fit into our.
I think it was because it was on cable. And we were like,
maybe.
Just wait.
Maybe.
So anyway, we're finally onto it. It's good.
Real good.
Ben Mendelsohn, as we mentioned before.
Yep.
And Jason Bateman.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Based on a Stephen
And all the
King
support
novel.
cast really good too.
Yeah, support cast terrific.
Love it. Really, really enjoying it.
So
Well, we've done 3
shows.
Three down. 7 to go.
Mm.
It's only one season, like a mini.
No, it's a mini series. It's a limited series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
There you go. Well, if it's based on a book,
I
keep
suppose.
pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, it could be something like. I'm glad it's not going to be something like. What was that one with the guy that used to kill the people and chop them up and
Dexter.
That just dragged on.
I don't think we even finished the first season of it.
Nah, because every episode became the same. It was just the same story almost over and over again. I suppose if they tried to make more out of this, it'd be the same.
I don't know, because from what I remember, it was just a one case, the whole series.
No, there were several.
Yeah, no, I thought it was, but it was different murders, and they were trying to figure out who the serial killer was.
Yeah,
and then we stopped watching it.
That's another one we might have to sort of.
Well, I remember enjoying it, but then you weren't that interested in it, so we stopped watching it. But that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But apparently it does get really shit towards the end.
Oh, I could imagine.
They're rebooting that too. They've just, I think Paramount Plus, yeah.
Oh, who's in the lead, do you know?
Same guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what's his name?
He was from 6 Feet Under, wasn't he?
Yeah. I want to say it's not Anthony Michael Hall. It's Anthony something. Dexter. I'm trying to get it. Dexter. Dexter. Anthony. I don't know. It's probably not even Anthony. What's his name? Anthony. Well, maybe it's Michael something.
Michael C. Hall.
Oh, I knew it.
Not Anthony C. Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall. No, close. It's just Michael C. Hall. Fuck, yeah. I knew it. I was thinking, why is Anthony Michael Hall in my head? There you go, Michael Hall. Fuck. Anyway, yeah. Apparently the later seasons were crap by people who love the show.
I can imagine. What rating? Oh, it's got still an 8.6.
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah, maybe one day. I don't think we have much of it, though. Actually, maybe you bought quite a bit of it.
I think I've got about maybe 3 seasons of it.
Maybe.
I can't remember. It might only just be on DVD.
I think it was DVD, yeah. Anyway, other than that, we started watching. We talked about this last week. We watched that new documentary on Apple TV Plus with Inside the President's War Room, which was the 9/11 documentary from the perspective of George Bush and his cabinet, or his team. And this one, we've just started the one on Netflix, which is called 9/11 Turning Point, which is 5 episodes, and it chronicles the rise of Al-Qaeda through to September 11, through to the war in Iraq, Afghanistan, all that stuff. It kind of talks about, I think it goes through the whole history of that 20-plus year war. Obviously, we've watched 2, and it's just kind of at the back end of 9/11 now. And then the rest of it, I think goes into the whole war and sort of how that played out. I think it's something quite interesting something I've always been interested in, just kind of getting into the details of it.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's a hard watch. It's really
heavy.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really heavy.
I think it's because we've watched a lot of 9/11 stuff over the years, a lot of stuff. And you feel like you've seen all you can see. And then this thing shows a lot more, tells a lot more. I feel like people are being more, I don't know whether it's people are being more open in sharing their stories, or whether the media or the documentaries and stuff on the event is now more open to telling the story in more detail.
Yeah, possibly. I think people are
ready to hear.
Not that they're over it,
Yeah,
but they've come to terms with it, and they're ready to talk about it and hear about it and all that sort of shit.
I think that's what it is. People are now, it's 20 years on, and now people are like, well, I think it's finally time to hear the details. And I mean, President Biden is releasing a lot of top secret documents and stuff at the moment too. People have been
wanting to
see finally, and it's really hard to watch. It's really heavy. Because it has a lot of talking heads with survivors, people who are in the building. And some of the stories that you hear from people who are
just
in the buildings,
horrendous.
it's like, fuck, it's like you never thought of it. Like we watched that, it was called 9/11, it was that documentary made by the firefighters.
The 2 French guys.
Yeah. And they go into the building and you see a lot of it, but they don't show the graphic stuff.
Well, they'd been separated. The 2 brothers have been separated, and they were actually just doing a documentary on a particular firefighter who had, I think he'd only just graduated.
He was a rookie.
Into the fire.
Proby.
Proby, that's right, yeah. And then and they were sort of following him around, and nothing was really happening, and they were sort of wondering about how they were going to make a documentary out of it. And then they're out on the street, and I think the footage you actually see where the plane goes in.
They were the only ones to capture the footage of the first plane.
From the street.
Yeah. So anyway, we've seen that a few times. We've watched that great doco.
Brilliant doco.
And that's pretty harrowing, but even that never went into as much detail as what we're getting now.
No, exactly right.
It's just really shocking stuff. But we won't go into detail because some people might not want to hear. But if you're interested in it, definitely recommend it. I mean, we've only seen 2 shows, but it's if you're interested in that kind of that thing and you want to learn a bit more, definitely recommend it. But prepare, it's very heavy. It's
really heavy, yeah. And there was that movie made too. I think there was a movie made with
Nick Cage,
wasn't it?
They played that on telly the other day.
They might have been 9/11 as well.
No, I think it was called World Trade Center.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was too. Yeah, I think I've seen the whole film.
No, we watched it a long time ago. Yeah, when it first came out.
And they used a lot of real footage in that too. I think, didn't they?
Can't remember. It was an Oliver Stone movie.
I'm pretty sure there was some real footage in that.
Yeah, but. It's a lot of stuff that you never really thought about, and you're like, well, that makes sense.
It's just really amazing that how it affected everybody.
Yeah.
Like here we are, 17,500 kilometres away from there, and it really affected us as well. And it still to this day does. It still rocks you thinking if that sort of thing can happen there. Well,
So anyway, check that out if you're into it. Interested in that kind of documentary kind of thing. It is a very important moment in history now. I think it's something that's very important for people to watch, even though it's hard to watch. Anyway, this show really is getting dark at some point. Happy 50th shows, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, that brings us to this moment. The Mad Men update.
It's Bong smoking time.
It's not. We put an end to the Bong update last week. It's Mad Men update. That's it. Mad Men, no bongs. They proved it last week. It's done.
That's funny.
It's over. We're into Mad Men.
Yep.
We're loving it.
Yeah. Oh, can't get enough of it.
Here's another celebration for us. We finished season 2.
Woohoo!
And we started season 3.
No, we haven't started 3.
Yeah. We watched the first one. Cut it out.
Did we?
Yes.
Where was I?
You were here. We watched it the other night. It was the last episode we watched. It was the first episode of season 3.
I thought that was the last episode of the...
No, sir.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It was the last episode of the second season.
We watched 2 this
Where
week.
he told her... She told him she was pregnant.
Yeah, and then we've watched 1 more since then.
Did we?
We've started season 3. I can guarantee it.
Jesus, I can't remember.
I'm just going off mic for a bit.
No, he's always off mic.
Audio sounds a bit shit, but you're used to that.
Bring that audio back, Dave.
Season 3, right there. We have it out. Season 3, episode 1, Out of Town. Don and Sal travel to Baltimore, where each makes... No, we didn't watch that.
No, we didn't. I told you. You fucking idiot. We watched 3 episodes this week and they were all season 2.
Oh, right. Makes sense. I must have just grabbed the disc out and put it there. I remember that was there. I remember taking it off. Anyway. All right, so we've started... We've started season 2.
Oh, I thought I was going fucking mad, didn't I? Wouldn't have surprised me, to be honest.
No, me either.
Old man memory.
We finished season 2. And we'll start season 3 this week.
We were going to watch one last night, but we'd watched one of the 9/11 shows, and I was absolutely exhausted at the end of that.
Yeah.
And I was falling asleep. It's hard to stay awake that last 15 minutes or so, and I'm not normally in bed until, 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and it was like 11:30 and Dave said, it's time for bed.
Yeah,
I'm
going to bed now.
And I just went. And I actually don't remember getting into bed and I don't remember going to sleep.
Well, there you go. One of them nights.
But yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Yeah, very good. Very
really
good show.
Hanging to start season 3.
We'll start season 3 this week. Fucking hell, man.
But no, it's really good. And, she's now pregnant again. And I think it's Don's? Has to be Don's.
Oh, yeah.
Has to be Don's.
Well, no, she's been cheating around now.
Well, now she is.
Yeah.
But that was after.
Yeah, that's true.
Became
it was only that last show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It has to be Don's.
But she didn't. He didn't sleep with that guy at the.
No, true.
At the what do you call it? The horse.
Yeah. Equestrian.
Place.
Yeah.
Equine place. What do you want to call it? I don't know what you call them. Horse riding joint.
Equestrian's a dance.
She didn't sleep with him, did she?
No. I can't remember. Went into the room. Yeah.
Yeah, her friend did.
So anyway,
and I think they must have had a little bit of a romp.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe that night when they were separated. That night, and he came back and they'd slept together, and
maybe
she told him to piss off again.
Anyway, yeah. So we'll find out next episode, maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, but no, it's good.
So they'll be forced back together now, though, because they've been split.
Yeah, well, it's not a reason to get back together, though.
Yeah, well.
But it was the time.
That's what I was going to say.
That was the time.
Anyway, we'll start season 3 next week.
Yep.
For now, though, we'll do a very quick partner highlight. Should I close that out with that was this week's...
Yep.
Where's my button? Madman Update.
Put that bong down, Dave.
Piss off. It's not a bong update. Fuck. Okay. Let's do a very, very quick highlight on the partners of the channel and the podcast and all that kind of stuff right now. We're taking a look at Random Space Media. Fantastic, developing really great Blu-ray collections with the studios, official studio releases. Great studios like Universal, Sony Pictures Home Entertainment, Disney, etc., etc. They recently released a bunch of DreamWorks movie collections, 15 movie collection, which got all your Shrek movies, How to Train Your Dragon, not How to Drain Your Dragon, the Madagascar films, and what else is in there? The Kung Fu Panda, and then all the other movies, like in 4 movie collections. If you want to pick up any of those DreamWorks movies, some of which are available, this is the only way you can get them in Australia on Blu-ray, like the classic ones like Prince of Egypt, El Dorado, etc. A lot of those older ones. Chicken Run, my favourite. You can head over to randomspacemedia.com and use Dream15 until the end of the month, and you get 15% off your entire order. That'll only apply to the DreamWorks titles, nothing else, but you can order anything with the DreamWorks titles, apply it, and it'll just take it off the DreamWorks stuff.
And that's not an affiliate code. That's just the code for you guys.
Exactly right. You guys can use it and get 15% off. I get nothing out of it. Kicks.com.au as well. I've teamed up with them in celebration of Fast 9 on 4K Ultra High Definition. The Dave15 code to get 15% off at kicks.com.au is also still active.
Also not an affiliate code.
Also not an affiliate code. Don't know how long that code is still active for. We're supposed to end at the beginning of the month, but it's still active. I think maybe because we've kicked off the Fast 9 promo, it's been extended. So head over to kicks.com.au, use Dave15 and get 15% off your orders.
Now, you know what Freud would say about your slip-up?
What's
how
that?
to drain the dragon.
Yeah, I know that. Move along. These are family movies. Additionally, my good friends over at Viavision Home Entertainment have allowed me to do a...
just keep sending shit in.
I know. Viavision Entertainment, rather. They have provided us with a great chunk of stuff here to do a giveaway. We've got The Invaders, which is a fantastic series from the 1960s. Really fun, like sci-fi thing. We've got Alfred Hitchcock Presents Seasons 5 to 7 box set right there as well. You've got the Maritime Movie Classics Collection and the Alan Ladd Collection Volume 3. I am also throwing in, this was not part of the original giveaway, but I'm going to throw this in as well. This is Viavision's release of Stephen Hawking's Grand Design, which is a really great doco. We watched this.
Grand Design?
No, not that Grand Designs. Not Grand Designs. Grand Design. There's a really great documentary about the history of the universe and... the meaning of life and the cosmos and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to throw that in because that's one that I've wound up with a duplicate of at some point for some reason. That is a Viavision release as well, so I'll be throwing that in too.
Awesome.
You can head over to my Instagram account to enter that. I've essentially just put a post up. You'll see it. I want to know what your favourite classic sci-fi, thriller or adventure movie is. Let me know. If you can't be bothered going to the Instagram or you don't have an Instagram, you can send me an email at davelypod@gmail.com and we'll just kind of combine all the entries right there. You've got until the 22nd, so that's this week, I think this Wednesday, if you're listening to this on the week that it goes out, and I'll be picking one randomly, probably on the podcast next week, and then I'll sort it out with the winner how to send it out to them all.
So is that that's a whole bunch that altogether?
That's a whole bundle. I couldn't be bothered doing multiples.
Awesome.
So we're just going to do a massive bundle, one winner, big bunch of stuff, Australians only. So enter away, guys.
So what's your favourite sci-fi?
My favourite classic sci-fi, probably if we're talking like that era, maybe like War of the Worlds.
Oh yeah, that or The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah. Favorite thriller? Favorite classic thriller? I would probably say Psycho, horror thriller. Alfred Hitchcock, The Master. If not, Vertigo or Rear Window. Yeah.
Rear Window.
Yeah. Favorite, what was the other thing? Adventure movie. Classic adventure.
Oh. From that era?
Yeah, Indiana Jones. That'll do.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking.
That'll do. Anyway,
it's a little bit later than that, but you know,
yeah, a little bit, just a touch. That's all right. I've been getting entries from all eras and stuff, so it doesn't matter. Just your favourite, sort of that kind of thing. Send it on. I've had quite a few actually. So cool. Yeah, so enter away, and I'll pick a winner next week.
It's not like you've got
randomly
20,000, so your odds are pretty good.
No, exactly right. Yeah. Okay, so that's that done. Out of the way. Now it is time for Shite. All right. This week's edition of Shite All Right. This is our favourite show, and guess what? We're celebrating.
Your favourite show?
Is my favourite show. My favourite segment of the show. Shite All Right. This is episode 21. We're celebrating happy 21st birthday. Shite All Right.
All right.
Oh, no.
All right.
I meant to hit the applause button, but I've gone to the wrong thing. This show has just gone absolute tits up today. Cut it out! Stop it!
I think we've got to get some sleep, Dave.
I think so. Let's get through Shite All Right, huh? It's a great game that we play where we will pull up a couple of random titles from IMDb that have been sent in from our wonderful listeners out there, and we have to guess whether we think the movies are
Shite.
or
All right.
purely based on their synopsis. We don't get the title. We don't get the actors. We do... What are you doing?
Just trying to get into a position where I can actually read the screen and talk into the microphone.
So anyway, we'll read the thing out. You know how it works. The more obscure, the better. If you have a shite or right to send in, you can send it over to davelypod@gmail.com and we will read it out. We'll get to it in time because we've got so many here, but we would love it. We would love it. So we do get one assist.
And if it's your first one sending in, there's a good chance you'll get read out straight
Exactly
away.
right. Yeah, exactly right. Straight away. Now, we'll do 3 rounds each. You can use an assist in one round, which is I'll give you like the top 2 stars of the thing. Okay, so first up, we'll take a look at the message we've been sending this week from our the podcast official scorekeeper.
Monkey Boy,
Jeff, our little worker monkey, working away on his little bike, going away. World's worst scorekeeper.
Yep.
It
makes sense. We've got the world's worst manager, so I might as well have the world's worst scorekeeper.
Yep. So he's written in this week, hello.
And the world's worst listeners.
And the world's worst listeners.
Aren't you kidding?
Sorry, guys. Love you. You are not the world's worst.
They can't be. They listen to us.
Huh? No. Okay, so Jeff has written in, hello, welcome and thank you for joining the 50th edition of the Dave Lee Down Under podcast. It's exciting, isn't it? Halfway to triple digits. Thanks, Jeff. That's my job to do the intro, but we can keep reading. I have an update on the subscriber contest from a couple of weeks ago, and the winners are all of you. Everyone that subscribed to the YouTube channel has won. If you didn't subscribe, get on it. To the listeners, yes, you. That's right. You there listening right now, not subscribed to this damn YouTube channel. For shame. Worst listeners ever. Joke. I promise you, I did not write that. Jeff wrote that. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. He says
he's got our back.
Yeah, he does. He says, I have a confession, Dave and Rick. She said, no disrespect to the missus of the family, but my mum has a crush on old mate Rick. She said he's a woolly bugger.
Is she referring to my beard?
Probably. She likes his hat and monochromatic clothing.
What? Because I wear a lot of blacks.
Yeah. I do try to tell you not to wear a lot of blacks because you
blend into the background.
But
just this bobbing head.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's my wardrobe. That's dark clothes when I'm in photography. So because you don't want to reflect into the product.
Makes it a bit difficult when there's a floating head in the pod. That's all.
Well, and dark clothes make you look thinner.
Yeah, well,
I need all the help I can.
Anyway, we got to get on because we're dragging on today. Also, did you know this is still Jeff? It's a fucking long message from Jeff, mate. Cut down on the messages. You've eaten into my time on the pod. He says also, Dave, you noticed that old mate Rick had his Brady jersey on when he took the lead last week. Mind blown.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Brady's good at coming from behind.
Yeah. There you go.
He did it last week's game as well.
Little magic out in the world.
Ooh.
There you go.
Go change again. Hang on.
Got the hat on, that's all right.
Oh, yeah, it hasn't got number 12 on it, though.
Anyway, there's more of Jeff's message to read, so let's get back to it. Jeez. Another thing is that this edition will end on movie number 50 for both of you. So both of us have done 50 movies each by the end of this episode, which means there'll be 100 shite or right so far.
Wow.
By the end of this show. P.S. He keeps going. I can't make this shit up. P.S. How can we set up Dave Lee versus James Corden boxing match?
Oh. I think I know who'd win that one.
Yeah.
I think James would go running.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll teach you how to throw a punch.
Thanks, Jeff, for your letter this week. We do appreciate it every single week. We love it. And thank you for doing the score sheet, of course. You got in the lead last week. I got none right. You moved up 3 spots. You got all 3 of yours right. We're now 28-29 in your favour. So this is the hinge week. I could get back in front, or you could take away with the lead.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, you never know. Look at last week.
Yeah, it's true.
You just never know with this game. That's the thing. There's no skill to it. There's no skill to this game. Skillless games, skillless podcast. That's where we're coming from. All right, so I guessed first this week because you guessed first last week. We're nice and even now at the moment. So.
Right, okay. So I read out first.
You read out first.
Okay.
So this one is coming from...
This one...
Have you got the name there?
No, you have.
It says Michael Utatov sent this one in.
No.
Yeah?
No, it wasn't.
Or was that last week? Oh, yeah, Sam.
Yeah,
Sam B.
Sam B.
Michael Uzatov, I apologise. I don't think we're reading any from Michael this week, but he's got a nice little shout out there again.
When a structural security authority Oh, it just doesn't read right. When a structural security authority finds himself set up and incarcerated in the world's most secret and secure prison, he has to use his skills to escape and... escape with a little help from inside.
I feel like there's assault on Precinct 13, I feel like.
Do you want me to read that again because I fucked it up?
You can read it again, yeah.
When a structural security authority finds himself set up and incarcerated in the world's most secret and secure prison, he has to use his skills to escape with help from the inside.
Maybe not. Maybe it's not assault on Precinct 13. Maybe it's... could be The Rock. Sounds like it could be The Rock, maybe. Escape from Alcatraz. Geez, any kind of prison break movie. I might say it's assault on Precinct 13. I know he tried to trip us up with Planet of the Apes last week.
Yes,
because he thought we wouldn't be able to guess whether it's the classic one or the newer one, the Tim Burton one. If it is assault on Precinct 13, it's the same thing where the classic is highly revered and the new one, not so much. Or the one that came out probably 15 years ago. Pardon me. Oh, another hiccup.
Would be probably that long ago, wouldn't it?
If it's not that movie, then I don't know. I'm going to say Shite. I feel like I'm going to steer on the Shite side of things. I think he'll be having a bit of a laugh.
So locking it in?
Yeah, lock it in. Yeah.
All right.
No. What is it?
Escape Plan.
Escape Plan.
6.7.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this the one with De Niro, Schwarzenegger and Stallone?
Stallone, Schwarzenegger. 50 Cent.
Oh, there you go.
Didn't know 50 Cent was in that.
No, we haven't watched it.
I've seen it.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, promise you haven't seen it.
We
have not watched it. We have not watched it. It's out there in that cabinet of movies that have not been watched.
Vincent D'Onofrio. And Jim Caviezel.
They've done a second one. I think it was Sly Stallone and Dave Bautista.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Sam Neill, Vinnie Jones.
Yeah.
Awesome cast.
What year was
so
that?
6.7.
Sam Neill?
Yeah, Sam Neill.
What year was that?
Surprises me. 2013.
That's what I thought. Yeah, we definitely haven't watched it.
Goes just under 2 hours and 6.7.
Well, there you go. Trip me up.
Yep.
All right. My turn. This one is coming to us from Anthony, who's sent in quite a few this week. Thank you, Anthony. Okay. I've got to blank out one of the names here. Someone hosts this podcast talk show focusing on the latest in pop culture and entertainment with special guest hosts every episode.
Oh, it's as good as our podcast. It'll be shit. Give me my clue.
Your assist?
My assist.
The stars are Dave Lee and Rick Lee. He has obviously sent in Dave Lee down on the podcast. Now, I would get you to guess a shite or a ride on this, but there's actually no rating on it.
Okay.
So I'll give you another one.
I'd be saying shite anyway.
Probably. I'll give you another one, just to be fair. This is also coming from Anthony as well. Okay. Marcus, we usually don't read out names, so it's just a generic name.
Yep.
We'll read it out. Marcus goes home to his teenage daughter, Mathilde, when his wife dies in a tragic train accident. It seems like an accident until a mathematics geek, who was also a fellow passenger on the train, and his two colleagues show up.
Oh, that sounds like something I've seen. Can't think of the name of it. I'm thinking it might be okay.
You think it's all right?
Yeah, I'll give it a no. I'll give it
Give it
an
an
all
all
right.
It is.
All right, all right.
You definitely have not seen it.
No?
No, it is, I believe, it's probably a Danish film.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It's
wouldn't
a
have seen
Danish film. Stars Mads Mikkelsen.
it. Mm-hmm.
It's called Riders of Justice. Came out last year. It's got a 7.6.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it sort of reminds me of something I was saying.
Sounds like that Liam Neeson one, maybe.
Where he sees mathematical equations and stuff.
Oh,
in my TV
Good Will
series
Hunting.
Or, no, I think it was a TV series or something. I can't remember.
Monk.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Monk.
Who knows? Oh, well.
Shit. Anyway, it actually
well.
looks pretty good. This is a movie that is apparently very good, and people have been ragging on how shit the poster is.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty ordinary. It's pretty
So
ordinary.
there you go.
Okay, so,
So you've got that one right.
Yep, cool.
I did press the button, didn't I? Yes.
Yes.
Come to Leo.
So you ready for your second one?
Yes, please.
This is from?
Oh, yeah. This one is from... Let me scroll up to the top. It's from Devesh.
Devesh, that's right, it was
Yes.
too. Excuse me. A police officer assigned alarm dispatch duty enters a race against time when he answers an emergency call from a kidnapped woman.
Oh. Go again?
A police officer assigned alarm dispatch duty enters a race against time when he answers an emergency call from a kidnapped woman.
Oh, it sounds familiar. Could be phone booth. Could be the call. Could be something completely different. I'm going to say all right. Sounds okay. Sounds like a good action thriller sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lock it in.
Are you sure?
Yep, lock it in.
Positive?
Lock it in, Eddie.
And you're saying it's all right?
Yeah, that's all right.
All right,
yeah.
all right, all right.
It's a film called The Guilty,
Oh, I know. I've heard about this.
2018.
They've just remade it.
Runs for just under 1.5 hours. So it's only a short film. But 7.5.
That's a foreign film as well.
Yeah.
I think it might be Danish. I'm not sure if it's a Danish film, but it's definitely
not sure. Not sure what it is. It is.
They've just remade
Yeah,
it.
Denmark.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They've just remade it with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, looks quite good.
Oh.
Apparently, it's quite good too. The remake. So there you go. All right, your turn. Number 2. I'll let you have your assist back because that one was a bit unfair.
That was funny.
But I'll read you this one. This one has come into us from Tyson Turner. Has sent this one in. Thank you, Tyson. Okay. A lonely boy befriends a talking mouse who falls in love with his toy motorcycle.
Go again?
A lonely boy befriends a talking mouse who falls in love with his toy motorcycle.
I think that might be okay.
You reckon?
I think it might be all right.
That'll be all right.
Yeah, looking all right.
Lonely boy befriends a talking mouse who
Yeah.
falls in love with his toy motorcycle.
Yeah, I think it might be okay. It might be a
Alright.
good little kids film.
All right. It is.
All right, all right, all right.
Awesome.
That's all right. It's called The Mouse and the Motorcycle. It
It
stars.
just sounds like it could actually be a really nice little film.
Yeah, it stars Fred Savage.
Really?
Fred Savage,
There you
Ray Walston, Philip Waller. It's like I think it's an ABC kids telly movie from 1986.
Now, if I asked for my assist on that and you said Fred Savage, I probably would have gone, oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't think so.
It's got a 7.1.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
It does sound okay.
I
It
feel
sounds
like
like they could actually do quite a bit with that.
I feel like I've heard of it. Then you want to check out the little picture there. Little mouse on a motorcycle.
It's hilarious.
Oh, it's based on a book. I feel like maybe I know the book. Maybe I
Okay.
knew the book when I was a kid. There you go. Okay, next up.
Next for you is from
Oh, yeah, this one has come to us from Gary Litterman.
Okay. A huge shark terrorizes a beach in Florida and the locals try everything to kill it.
Sounds like Jaws. That could be one of many Jaws rip-offs. Was Jaws in Florida? No, Amity. I can't remember which state.
Sure, I think it was in Florida.
Can't remember. Probably. It's probably not Jaws. Surely he wouldn't have sent in Jaws. I'm going to say Shite. I reckon it's going to be some sort of shitty mockbuster remake of Jaws. Lock it in.
Lock in Shite?
Shite. Lock it in.
I want to fuck around with this.
Shite.
There you go.
Shite.
Yeah.
3.3.
Jeez, what's this one?
This one is called Cruel Jaws.
Cruel Jaws, yeah. It's a fucking mockbuster.
95 it was made.
Yeah.
1 hour 37, and it's got no one in it of note, really.
I have a feeling, let me look at the picture there. I have a feeling they actually released this one as Jaws. How many Jaws are there? There's 4. I think there's 4. I have a feeling they released this as Jaws 5 in some territories. Somehow they managed to get it out there as Jaws 5. Yeah, and some like home media releases actually have it as Jaws 5.
Well, they get away with it. They just called it Jaws with the number 5 as the S.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. I'm sure there is versions of that exist that is called Jaws 5.
It's probably pretty tragic.
Well, with that
Well,
rating.
3.3 I think it would be.
Let me have a look. Jaws 5. Cruel Jaws pops up is the first thing that pops up. I've heard of this, yeah. It's one of those weird things that somehow managed to do it. It lifts footage from Steven Spielberg's Jaws, Lynette Schwartz's Jaws 2, Joe D'Amato's Sangue Nelle Abissi, and mostly from Enzo G. Castellari's L'Ottimo Squalo and Jaws 3. So it just combines a bunch of footage from all these different movies.
I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, there you go. The question is this really Jaws 5 in the Jaws series? No. Cruel Jaws was released as Jaws 5 Cruel Jaws to cash in on the Jaws series. There you go.
Flogs.
Don't know how they managed to get away with that, but there you go. All right, thanks for that one, Gary.
Yeah, but I kind of want to see it. It sounds so bad that I want to see it.
Yeah. There you go. All right, I've got one more for you.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. This one's called. Oh no, I won't tell you what it's called. I'll tell you.
Tell me what it's called.
No, I'll tell you.
What's its rating, Dave?
I'll tell you. Sent it in. It's sent in by Max Xavier or Max.
Yep.
And here's the synopsis. A distant couple decides to take in a seemingly innocent pregnant woman in hopes of adopting her unborn child. However, there is more to a book than its cover.
Oh, sounds like God, what's it called? Can never remember the name of it. Can never remember the name of any film, really.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like it might be a bit of a thriller, horror thriller sort of thing. Yeah. I'm going to say it's okay.
You don't want your assist?
Yeah, give me the assist.
All right.
Yeah, why not?
It's got Kristen Wiig.
Yep.
And Will Ferrell.
Yep.
And Jessica Lowndes.
It's going to be shit. I'm going to say it's all right. I like both of them.
Yep. All right.
It's going to be shit. It's going to be shit. It's going to be shit.
Yeah, it's called A Deadly Adoption.
Oh.
It's a TV movie from 2015. It's got a 5.1. It's a Lifetime movie. I feel like it was like a piss take of Lifetime movies that they did on Lifetime. Yeah. Doesn't look great.
I was hoping that was going to be okay, but after I said, lock in, and then I thought, it's going to be shit.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, well. That's another episode.
That is another episode done of
Shite.
All
right.
Thanks again to everyone. Ding. Thanks again to everyone who sent in a Shite All Right this week and every week. If you'd like to send one in, please send one in to daveleepod@gmail.com. Send in as many as you like, and we'll put them in the list and we'll read them out.
Eventually.
But like we said, if you're
any new ones come along, we'll get them in straight away.
There you go. All right, so how long have we been going for this week already? Oh, nearly 2 hours?
Oh, about an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. Yeah, just trying to figure it out in my head.
With the fuck up at the start.
Okay, we've got some time. Let's do this week's edition of Trailer Trash.
Yep. Hope it's not trash.
Might be, might not be. Sometimes they're trash, sometimes they're not. We just like the name. We've got 3 movies to take a look at today. First up, well, actually, we've got 2 movies in a series to take a look at today. First up, we're going to take a look at this one right here. It is called, I've forgotten to queue up all the videos as well, which is always nice. But the first one we're going to take a look at is called Marvel's Hawkeye.
Ooh.
This is the next Disney Plus series that is heading to, this is the next Marvel series that is heading to Disney Plus. So let's take a look.
Authorities are wondering if the masked vigilante who terrorized the city's underworld is back.
The past has caught up with me.
Should we be worried?
No, it's nothing. I'll be home for Christmas. I promise.
You're a Hawkeye.
Who the hell are you?
Some people have actually called me the world's greatest archer.
It's the most wonderful time. Yes, the most wonderful.
This is too dangerous. Definitely not this one.
You don't have to say definitely like that. Holy shit! There are arrows more dangerous than that one?
It's just some Christmas.
There you go.
Almost looks like a bit of a piss take, doesn't it?
It does a little bit. Well, that's the thing with this character. You can't, like I've always said, Hawkeye, Black Widow, they're characters I really love, but they're characters that I just never felt like would work in their own like solo films. The only way you can do Hawkeye is to take the piss.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's a guy that shoots a fucking bow and arrow.
Yeah, and he's a superhero.
Yeah, exactly right. Hey, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does look good.
I'm pretty keen to see it.
It's a new Christmas film to add to the list.
A new Christmas thing, yeah. Well, all 6 hours of it that we're going to get through every year. It's a series, isn't it? Disney Plus series.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but the Christmas twist is quite interesting because they hadn't like said anything about it being a Christmas movie or anything. But,
so was it 8 episodes or something, or 6?
I don't know. Some of them have been 6, some of them have been 8. It's probably eight maybe.
Was it 6 hours length? Or?
I think most of them are 6 hours in length.
Right.
Yeah, so it depends on the run time of the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm keen on it.
So when's it out? November?
This one comes out, I think so. The debut is the first episode is on November 24, 2021. Of course, it stars Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, who teams up with another well-known archer from the Marvel Comics, Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld, who, of course, we know from Dickinson. Yep. Great show on Apple TV+. You know her from stuff like Pitch Perfect and True Grit as well.
True Grit? Oh, she
was the kid in True Grit.
Oh.
I'm sure we've been over this a few times, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
But, it's like I keep saying, when I'm totally retired, I've got plenty of films out there I'll never remember I've watched.
Yeah. No, she was the young girl in True Grit. So she's fantastic. Great actress. It also has Vera Farmiga in there, Fra Fee, Tony Dalton, Zahn McLennan, Brian D'Arcy James, and newcomer Alaqua Cox as Maya Lopez. Now, I believe Florence Pugh is also going to be in this because they had the little tease at the end of Black Widow.
Oh, okay.
So
Vera's been prolific lately, hasn't she?
She's done a lot of stuff. Movies, TVs, everything. Yeah, she's great. I love her. She's so good. So I'm keen to see it. It looks interesting. I like the Christmassy, the whole Christmassy thing. Yeah. Something a bit fun, a bit different. I think Spider-Man, No Way Home is supposed to be set at Christmas as well. So we might have a couple of like little Christmassy Marvel projects.
Awesome.
Iron Man 3 was set at Christmas, so there's a few of them. Some people are saying it feels like kind of like a Shane Black movie. Now, Shane Black did Iron Man 3. He also did Lethal Weapon, which was set at Christmas. Yep. He did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
He loves Christmas
films. Set at Christmas, yeah. So it kind of feels like that kind of action, adventure, comedy, Christmassy kind of thing. I'm keen on it. And Jeremy Renner looks like he's having a bit of fun. And I don't know if he's going to dip out of the franchise after this, but it certainly looks like maybe since they're now setting Haley Steinfeld up to be the next Hawkeye, because she is Hawkeye in the comics.
Oh, okay.
Kate Bishop. She's like the protege, and then she goes on to be the Hawkeye. And even the comedic tone I wasn't expecting from it. But
no, it's got quite a good comedic twist to it.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forwed to that one. There you go.
And it's, it was an episode a week, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be an
So
episode.
the 24th, and if it's, say, 6 episodes,
Yeah.
that'll take it up to Christmas.
Oh, there you go. It'll be this probably. It would like Falcon and Winter Soldier, which were like 50, 60-minute eps. I think. Anyway, so there you go. All right, let's take a look at another trailer right here. This one's for a movie. This is from Steven Spielberg's next movie, West Side Story.
Is this a remake
This
of
is
the original?
The remake of the original, the Broadway stage production, etc., etc. I'm a big fan of Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
My favourite filmmaker. This is his first musical. So I'm keen to see... Of course it's a musical. It's a West Side Story.
I just didn't realise he'd be making a musical.
No, this is his first musical ever. So let's have a look at the trailer, huh?
This is my first time in New York City. I want to be happy here. I want to make a life, a home.
Are you ready? Tonight is about family. The first gringo boy who smiles at you.
I never seen you before. You're not Puerto Rican.
Is that okay?
Do you want to start World War III? If you go with him, no one will ever forgive you.
Steven Spielberg's West Side Story.
I'll watch it.
Looks okay.
Yeah.
Not huge on the music. No, I'm not huge on Broadway musicals. You're not
No.
really huge on musicals. Full stop.
No.
Dependent, but it looks quite good. Like visually, it looks really
Visually, it
nice.
looks beautiful.
Very Spielbergy with the light, very light and bubbly, and bit of drama in there. But it also very much reminds me of Clint Eastwood's. What was that musical he did? The Frankie Valli, the musical about Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
What was that called? Something Boys?
Pet Shop Boys.
No.
It's Jersey Boys.
Jersey Boys.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, we saw it too. We saw the production of that.
On Broadway.
In Broadway, we did, yeah.
Yes, we saw that on Broadway.
It looks very much like
and I
that
actually enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good. Depends on the music. That's what I'm saying. Very Broadway, over the top Broadway stuff. I'm not a huge fan of, but if the music's good,
It looks beautiful, and I like what's his name?
Ansel Elgort.
Yeah,
he's done some pretty good
like
stuff.
his work.
He of course plays the lead role. What's the character's name?
I got no idea.
Tony, yeah. And then we've got Rachel Zegler in there as Maria. I believe Rachel Zegler is another one of those people who's just kind of plucked from obscurity, did some like videos online, and he's an incredible singer. And I believe, is this her first movie?
Yeah, well, she's done bugger all.
Her first movie, and Disney's already signed her up to be Snow White in their Snow White film.
Yeah, and Shazam.
Was she in Shazam? Or the new one?
The new one, Shazam,
there you
Fury of
go.
the Gods.
Yeah, so this one, of course, this one's been delayed for months and months and months, COVID, all that shit. And before this movie's even come out, all these people are signing her up to be in all these movies.
Wow.
So it's crazy. Like pretty
awesome.
Her bio on Twitter reads Steven Spielberg's Maria.
Oh,
so
there you go.
so there you go. So she's great. I think she's fantastic. Ansel Elgort has been really great in stuff. It's also got a cast which includes Ariana DeBose, David Alvarez, Mike Feist, Josh Andreas Rivera, Anna Isabel, Corey Stoll, Brian D'Arcy James. Was he in Hawkeye as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And Rita Moreno, who is the original actress from West Side Story, from the original West Side Story. She was in that, yeah. And she's going to be playing the corner store, the owner of the corner store in which Tony works. So there you go. It looks quite good.
It looks okay.
I'm a Spielberg fan. I'm a completionist. I've seen every single one of his movies except Tintin. For some reason, I've got around to Tintin.
Can't get around to watching that.
No. I will watch it at some point. But yeah, it looks pretty good. That one is from Disney's 20th Century Studios. That comes out in the US on December 10th, 2021. And then here in Australia on December 26th, 2021. Let's take a look at one more.
Give it a go.
We will give it a go. We'll take a look at one more. This is the brand new trailer. This is just launched this morning at the time of recording this. Of course, we're recording the Friday. This is Guillermo del Toro's Nightmare Alley. This is based on the book by William Lindsay Gresham. It was previously adapted in 1947, starring Tyrone Power and Joanne Blondell. Terrific movie, amazing, the 1947 version. It's a quintessential film noir, and I would highly recommend taking a look at that one if you can. I think I saw the full movie on YouTube just before when I was looking. Oh. So if that's your only way of checking it out, I don't know how accessible, readily available that film is these days, but it's an amazing movie. So I'm keen to have a look at the trailer for Guillermo del Toro's new version. It's star-studded. Let's have a look.
Step right up and behold one of the unexplained mysteries of the universe. Is he man or beast? I am prepared to offer you folks one last chance to witness this supreme oddity. Is it a beast? Or is it a man? You're in luck because tonight you will see him feed. Come on in and find out.
Nightmare Alley.
Nice.
There you go.
Looks all right.
Yeah, this is huge.
I'll be, watching that.
This is a huge cast on this one. We've got Bradley Cooper, who I love.
He looks every bit out of the 20s, the 30s.
Oh, absolutely,
he?
Yeah.
Like he's just got that look.
Put a little fedora on him, and he's straight there. Yeah. So we got Bradley Cooper, Cate Blanchett, Aussie star, Toni Collette, Aussie star. Willem Dafoe, not Aussie star, American star, Richard Jenkins, Rooney Mara, Ron Perlman, and David Strathairn. It looks good. Looks very good. The original movie is very, very visual. It's like typical film noir. When you think of film noir, heavy shadows, overexposed whites, expressionist designs and stuff, very much like that. You can see Del Toro has pulled a lot from that, but also gone and put his own little weird, horrific twist on it. Now, Del Toro is, of course, the guy who did Crimson Peak, which we watched a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. So I feel like it's probably going to be very much in that style. Pan's Labyrinth, which we talked about last week. You said you had no interest in it. I said apparently it's very good. Well, it's very well known that it's a very good movie. Someone did write in this week. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Tom. Wrote in and he said, watch Pan's Labyrinth. I'll guarantee you'll enjoy it. So there you go.
Oh,
so anyway,
I'll have to give it a go.
Yeah, we do have it. Just never got around to it. But yeah, that looks very good. Just visual and just looks very tense.
Gorgeous. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
My only worry is there's so many movies that try to replicate the old classic film noir style, and they just fall really flat, like really short, flat in their face. But that looks very, very good.
I don't think part of that's because it's not in black and white.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Well, classic.
Yeah.
It's all black and white.
Yeah,
and it's black and white.
Yeah,
The really good thing stuff.
Yeah.
A bit like Sin City.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Which is great. I feel like you put that in black and white, it'll look great. And I reckon, I can't say for sure, but I know a lot of the time you hear about directors really try and push the studio to release the film in black and white, and the studio's like, no fucking way. Are we releasing that in black and white? It's going in colour because no one's going to see a black and white movie. But that would look great in black and white.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that.
Can you strip the colour out of your telly when you're watching it?
Of course you can. You can just turn down the...
turn down the hue or something.
No, you turn down the saturation.
I don't know whether the settings are in the TV or not.
Yeah, if you just turn down saturation, it'll take all the colour out of your image. You can watch it in black and white.
Don't watch it on the
there you
computer and do it on there.
Well, yeah. But yeah, there have been a few movies recently that they did release black and white versions of. Mad Max, Fury Road, Wolverine, the last Wolverine film, Logan. There's another one as well. I feel like one of the Justice League films or something was done in black and white. They did a black and white version. I can't remember. But yeah, they might maybe end up doing that.
That'd be great as a special feature on the...
Yeah, that's what I mean. These ones were released with like that additional disc that gave you the black and white version. So anyway, yeah, that looks great. That is coming from Disney as well, from their Searchlight Pictures. That opens on December 17th, 2021 in the USA. Here in Australia, we got to wait an entire month until January 2022.
We might be allowed back in cinemas by then.
We might be. Very much might be, very hopefully. So that rounds out this edition of Trailer Trash, but holy shit, what's that? What's that? What's that?
You tell me.
It's the breaking news!
Ooh.
Yes, I really have to shorten that. I think every week I got to just shorten that, just down, just one. Just got to get rid of one of the, just cut one of them out,
it off.
And it'll be short.
Just chop it off.
Well,
start it in the middle.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Anyway, we got a little bit of news this week. While we were looking at videos, let's have a look at this. Now, I usually wouldn't talk about leaks and stuff because studios do get a little bit annoyed when there's like, even if you just talk about it and stuff. But Jimmy Fallon raised this on a platform that's watched by millions of people, so I'm happy to talk about it. There have been some alleged leaks online recently from Spider-Man No Way Home. Of course, there's been all these rumours that Tobey Maguire's going to be there, Andrew Garfield's going to be there, you're going to get all the Spideys together. There have been some pictures, some videos and stuff that have been surfacing online. Unsure whether they're real or fake or whatever. We're not going to show it. That looks very authentic, the stuff that is floating around out there. Most of it's been ripped off the internet, though. But Jimmy Fallon was interviewing Andrew Garfield on the back of some other movie that he's doing at the moment that's just coming out. People have been saying... people have been saying that Andrew Garfield's got like 2 or 3 movies out this year, and he's just been on the campaign trail, and people are just asking about Spider-Man. Everyone's like, this poor guy. Meanwhile, Tobey Maguire is not doing anything, and he's just sitting back at home, just thinking, "Oh, thank God, it's not me." Anyway,
probably sitting back thinking, "Geez, I wish it was me."
Yeah, probably. Let me find this video. So we're going to take a look at this. Is Jimmy Fallon speaking to Andrew Garfield about these alleged leaks from Spider-Man. And tell me, what do you reckon? Is this man telling the truth, or is this man having a big fib? Let's have a look.
There's a photo going around on the internet of you and Tobey Maguire on the set of Spider-Man. The new Spider-Man movie. And I was like, wow.
I'm not sure about that.
We are. We're pretty sure. We're pretty sure about it. So we know what's up. Do you know what's up? What I'm telling you is, you're in the new Spider-Man No Way Home. Congratulations.
What?
Yes, congratulations. You're gonna be in it. Yeah, that's exciting, right?
I had no idea. I heard about it, and I did see it. And it's a Photoshop.
We say no.
I'm trying to manage expectations. You say no. Oh, you say no. Yeah.
We're saying no.
He said it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I reckon.
For sure.
Yeah.
He's the worst liar. He's just, look at him. He's just so smug at first. He just looks like, well, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
And then he goes on, he's like, oh, no, I don't know about this. I haven't heard about this. What are you talking about? And then at the end, he does a complete 180 and goes, oh, I have heard about this. I've seen it, and it's Photoshop.
Yeah. Yeah, no, him and Maguire are probably both in it.
I'm sure they are. Like I've been saying, Doc Ock, the Green Goblin, Electro, all played by, pardon me, another hiccup. All played by all their original actors. You couldn't not do it without the original Spideys in there as well.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Definitely there.
Yeah.
Definitely lying. Big liar. Big fat liar. So that movie was called Big Fat Liar. There you go.
Oh, no, was it?
Yeah, there's a movie called Big Fat Liar.
Oh, really?
It's like a kid's movie, back in the day. So there you go. Anyway, I reckon he's in it.
Yeah, so
for sure. All right, let's have a look at a little bit of news that has come in this week. Paramount. This is interesting. We've got about 3 bits of news here, which is kind of a little bit doom and gloom for the world of cinema as per.
Mm-hmm.
Paramount has swapped their CEO out. Jim Giannopoulos will be leaving Paramount. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. Jim Giannopoulos will be leaving Paramount as chairman and CEO. Brian Robbins, who currently runs Kids Network Nickelodeon for parent company Viacom CBS, will take over. In June, when Viacom CBS restructured its exec ranks to prioritize streaming, Robbins was among the executives who were given greenlight power at Paramount Plus as content chiefs in their respective areas of focus. To the Hollywood Reporter, he outlined his strategy to lean into well-known franchises to reinvigorate Nickelodeon as a global brand for the streaming era. It's believed that Robbins is more attuned to the demands of the streaming age, with Paramount Plus becoming the top priority for Viacom CBS. But Robbins' feature film work is primarily made up of modest, budgeted, cross-branded titles, remakes and comedies, and is yet to deal with A-list talent like Tom Cruise, John Krasinski, as well as mega studio budgets. The thinking, one source says, is that Paramount, in general, the studio Paramount, will be scaling back on its theatrical tentpole productions to focus on titles that will service Paramount Plus.
Interesting.
Mm.
So what does that mean?
No more theatrical productions, or less of them.
Well, we sort of thought that was going to head that way eventually, didn't we? Well, like 12 months or so ago, we were talking about it.
Mm.
It would be 12 months or so ago, because it's been already around for nearly a year now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Bit of a shame.
Yeah. Well, they're going to
keep theatres around.
Put all their productions. It's the thinking, one source says, is that Paramount will be scaling back on theatrical tentpole productions to focus on titles that will service Paramount Plus. So essentially, it's like, let's forget about the theatrical stuff. Let's go to just streaming. That's where everyone is.
It's where the money is.
So we've been talking about this is where where Hollywood's been headed for the last year.
Wow.
And it's pretty sad to see.
You spoke about it 12 months ago about the...
Oh, yeah.
The seminar you were in.
Oh, yeah, I've spoken about it many times. But... yeah, it's interesting to see them literally making those moves now, making those first moves to be like, let's restructure the company. And Paramount, one of the big movie studios, to be like, allegedly moving away from theatrical output to focus on their streaming service. Interesting. It raises the question, are we moving into an era where theatrical doesn't matter? It's all about streaming.
Yeah. As long as Disney keep putting stuff out to the cinemas, because they make all the good shit.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? What if one studio does it and they're successful? It's a domino effect.
They'll all move across.
Disney's doing very successfully with Disney Plus at the moment, but I couldn't imagine them dipping out of theatrical. But you've already seen them having more success with certain things on Disney Plus that haven't been working for them at the cinemas. So they're going to focus a lot more stuff to go into Disney Plus, and then they have a few big blockbusters every year, and then everything else will go Disney Plus. It also, again, begs the question, are billion-dollar movies a thing of the past? This is things people have been asking now.
That's a thought too, isn't it?
Are we moving to an age now where the money you make at the box office really doesn't matter? It's the eyes that you're getting on that streaming service and the subscriptions you're getting.
Yeah, well, I couldn't imagine there'd be... Like, if you put out if Black Widow went to cinemas, purely to cinemas, not to streaming as well, how much has that made?
I don't know at this point.
So that would have been $1 billion film.
It would have been.
Yeah.
Not in pandemic times.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
But even so, if it went out... If we're non-pandemic anyway, and it went out the way it did, it still wouldn't have made $1 billion box office because people would have been watching at home anyway.
Well, this is what I mean. I mean, we're beyond that days now. The Hollywood slipped into this era where people now are expecting day and date releases, or at least, some of these studios are going, we'll put it in cinemas for 45 days and then it goes straight to streaming. So this is an era now. I think this is something we're not going back from now.
No, I don't think so.
So I feel like $1 billion movies is going to be something that's probably not going to happen again.
But you got to wonder whether... like something like with Black Widow. I mean, if that went purely to $1 billion, are they going to make that much money just going streaming?
You never know. You don't know. They don't release those. I wouldn't imagine you'd make $1 billion in subscriptions.
Because when you think about it, if for argument's sake, Disney got 10 million subscribers, right?
Yeah.
And they're paying a subscription, and they put a film out, well, they're going to see that for free on the streaming service.
Yeah.
Eventually. Like, it might come out initially as a pay-per-view type thing.
Yeah.
But eventually it'll be free and you'll be able to watch it on their streaming service.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
But if it went to cinemas, they'd make that money.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We're not in that era now. It's done. Don't even think about what ifs. It's like this is where we are now. Yes, that movie would make $1 billion in normal times, but we're not there now. We're at this era where we've completely moved on.
What I'm saying is that I don't see how it makes sense that it's just going streaming unless they're making that sort of money back.
Well, I don't know. Who knows? As long as they cover the budget.
Because if you've got 10 million subscribers, you might get, say another million for one particular movie.
Yeah.
What's the subscription? $8 a month?
$10,
$10 a month? Well, that's only $10 million as opposed to $1 billion.
Well, the Black Widow, as of August 21st this year, only grossed $125 million on Disney+.
Yeah.
But that then begs the thing, if this is what the studios are doing, the studios will just start slashing budgets.
Yep. Making second-rate content again.
Yeah. They'll start slashing budgets and there'll no longer be this benchmark of we're going to make this much money. It's going to be about how many eyes can we get on Disney+, how many subscribers can we get, and how much can we flog off for Premier Access, plus your subscription fee, all that shit. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to take a look at that. But there is something right here, or actually a couple of stories down that will kind of link into that.
Yep.
But this story here, we've got... well, actually, no, we can talk about that. Actually, Dune, talk about that movie Dune that's coming out. Warner Brothers have actually said to the director... Because the director, Denis Villeneuve, wants to make a sequel. And he's been worried, I'm not going to get to make that sequel because people aren't going to go to the cinema to see this. Disney, HBO is putting it on HBO Max. Warner Brothers have told him that a sequel will happen if HBO Max performance is really strong, even if the box office results are diminished because of the pandemic.
Ties right in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll come back.
Yeah, we're definitely heading that way.
Yeah. It's pretty sad. So we'll double back to that, to Dune in a minute. We'll just a little bit to talk about with that. But in the meantime, Christopher Nolan, he's shopped his movie off.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he got it off. He apparently had this massive meeting at his home, at his ranch that he owns, this multi-million-dollar ranch that he owns out in Hollywood Hills. Universal came out, Apple came out, Paramount, Sony all came out and listened to him. There's no confirmation on, apparently, Warner Brothers. He was actually still in discussions with Warner Brothers, but has decided to go with Universal Studios.
Not Warner?
Universal, no. Universal Pictures. So he's taking the movie to Universal. This is, of course, the movie about Robert Oppenheimer, the invention of the atomic bomb. The Hollywood Reporter says it wasn't a negotiation. It was rather a once-in-a-generation opportunity to establish a relationship with one of the most successful and acclaimed filmmakers of the 21st century. He laid it out in his own terms. He said, I'm not negotiating. This is what I want, and you either give it to me or see you later. Exactly right. Now, a Hollywood Reporter continues to go, the project is meant to be a smaller-scale feature film for Nolan, which in his case meant a production budget of around $100 million and an equal marketing spend, according to sources. He asked for total creative control, 20% of the first dollar gross, and a blackout period from the studio wherein the company would not release another movie 3 weeks before or 3 weeks after his release. And he asked for what insiders say was around a 100-day theatrical window. Some sources have said the number was 110 days, while one person is saying it was 130 days. These were, in fact, many of the conditions that Nolan was accustomed to enjoying over at Warner Brothers. So there you go. So apparently, again, Apple and Paramount and Sony were in contention. Paramount apparently dipped out very early. Apple couldn't give him what he wanted. They said, no, we can't agree to those terms. And Sony was apparently very accommodating with his requests, but apparently Universal would just flat out, yes, we will do whatever you want us to do.
Yeah.
So he's gone with Universal. Apparently, he's built a relationship with the CEO or someone who's like very high in Universal. He's been quite clicky with that guy for a number of years. So
it's a big middle finger up to Warner Brothers, isn't it?
I know,
By Universal.
Yeah.
Stick that, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly right.
Exactly what that was.
Yeah, so that then ties into Dune.
Yep.
Warner's going, yeah, we'll let you make a second one if it performs well on HBO. They'll let him make a second one no matter what.
Yep.
Because they don't want to lose another one of these guys.
It's all right.
Denis Villeneuve is the closest thing they have to a Christopher Nolan now, visionary auteur filmmaker.
Yeah.
They don't want to. They don't want to piss off another one of these auteur artists.
Yep.
And they don't want to lose it. They just generally don't want to lose another filmmaker like that. Yeah.
Can't afford to lose too many.
No.
Not to that sort of level.
No, exactly right. So,
but good on Universal. I mean, they've obviously thought, just whatever he wants, just give it to him.
Just give it to him, yeah.
And even if who was it? Apple?
Yeah.
Who was the other one? Sony.
Yeah.
If they were prepared to do it, Universal had just obviously stepped in there straight away and been the first to go, yep, we'll give you whatever you want.
Yeah. And it, obviously with Nolan's prior relationship with whoever it is at Universal, there's that trust there already, and that relationship.
That'll be the hardest thing is to build that trust.
Yeah. Gosh, so there you go.
Well, good on him.
He's over at Universal now.
Yeah, good on him.
It's pretty good. Now, Warners have always been known as the filmmakers studio. They've always been very accommodating with their filmmakers, whether it's Nolan or Clint Eastwood or whoever's over there. They've always been very well known to look after their filmmakers and let them have that kind of artistic control that their artists need. But obviously with this whole streaming thing, they dumped everything on HBO Max without even telling the filmmakers and stuff. It's just really rubbed everyone up the wrong way. So
wouldn't be surprised to see more walk.
Well, yeah, exactly right. Well, there's a lot of them who are apparently very, very pissed off with them over it. But yeah, so there you go. Obviously, Warner Brothers doesn't want to piss off another one, and they've got Denis Villeneuve there, and they're going to let him make Dune 2, no matter what. They're just let him make the movie. Just let him make the movie. There you go. Talking of Denis Villeneuve, he has said something that's very quite controversial online this morning. He's another one of these filmmakers who's come out taking swings at Marvel.
Just another one.
He was asked, this is from IGN. IGN wrote this. It's been reported for all the sources, but this the one that I put up here was from IGN. Speaking with the Spanish newspaper El Mundo, Villeneuve was asked about the process of making artistic films on a big budget, which Villeneuve said is certainly doable, like in the case of Christopher Nolan or Alfonso Cuarón. This led to Martin Scorsese's comments on Marvel movies and how the director has been critical of Marvel movies in the past. In a quote, IGN independently translated, I believe it was a foreign language, the interview. I think it might have been French. Spanish newspaper, though. Maybe it was in Spanish. I'm not too sure. But Villeneuve seemingly agreed with Scorsese, saying, perhaps the problem is there are too many Marvel films that are nothing more than a cut and paste of others. Maybe these types of movies have turned us a little bit into zombies.
Oh, God.
He's added, nowadays there are a lot of big and expensive movies that have a lot of value. I don't feel capable of being completely pessimistic. He did, however, praise Marvel's hiring of Chloe Zhao for the Eternals as genius in a separate interview, saying that it's completely different to what they normally do.
Yeah.
It's a genius move to go and I don't know. What do you make of that?
Just a bit of a slap, isn't it?
It is a bit. Obviously, people are getting riled up online.
That's his opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck to him.
Yeah.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and if he doesn't like Marvel films or DC films or whatever, well, good luck to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Not my...
It's of course caused a massive stir online. People are getting very worked up about it. I don't care.
People don't realise it's an opinion,
Yeah, exactly right.
When I say opinions like arseholes, everybody's got one.
Yeah. It spawned all kinds of debates online and stuff about what is the definition of art and what movies can be considered art and all this shit. And I was in a bit of got a bit of an argument with a couple of people earlier this morning on Twitter over the whole thing, and they're saying, well, I'm like, someone jumped on and was like, said something like, well, Marvel movies aren't art, they are commercials, they are commercialist, and you can't compare commercial. I'm like, hang on a minute. All anything creative, anything that's used a creative person to use their creative powers and their artistic intuition, their artistic skills to make something is art.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether that is Dune, whether it's an auteur film, it's a Marvel film, a fucking commercial for McDonald's, if you want to talk about commercialism, a cat video on YouTube that someone's put some funny music on it. It's art.
It's
if
all
you use an
expressionist.
artist there, exactly right. If you want to use like that literal term of art,
Yeah.
it's all art someone's using. And to discredit, I'm not saying Villeneuve is saying this because he's not, but other people are turning it into something that it's really not.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
people just blow these things up and it spawns this whole other thing. But my thing is like, if you're an artist doing this thing, it's art. And then people take these things and they twist it and they go, oh, yes, he's saying these art. You know, it's just...
It's how can I explain it? My view is that it's art for entertainment.
Yeah.
As opposed to art for art's sake.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, for argument's sake, you're looking at... if you're looking at a Picasso or a what's his name, Claude Monet or something like that, that's art.
Yeah.
But if you look at something by, let's say, Warhol, is that art for entertainment?
Well, yeah. But
Same
it's
sort
still,
of thing. Same sort of thing.
I get
But
it.
it's still art.
Yeah, I get it.
Right?
What people... But a lot of people just take things to the next level.
Yeah.
Where the only definition of art is the latest Martin Scorsese film or Denis Villeneuve film. Oh, it's just art and nothing else is art. It's all art, but there's a different variation of what art can be used for, what it can be used to express, how it's presented. It's all art though. If it's used a creative, and the thing that riles me up about it is that you're not just dragging down the work, you're dragging down the people who put their blood, sweat, and tears and skills and effort into the films.
Yeah.
You got people working 3-4 years on some of these movies, and you go, that's not art. It is art, but it's just you know.
Well,
it's
you know my view on art films and stuff like that.
right,
Like, I'm not a huge fan because my view is that films are for entertainment. If somebody wants to make an artistic film to please themselves and hope other people get enjoyment out, well, good luck to them. But first and foremost, I think that film is there for entertainment.
Yeah, well, it can be used for...
You know?
look, it can be used for many things, and I feel like it's whatever you as the viewer, the appreciator or whatever, wants to get out of it, you get out of it.
Exactly right.
If you want art for entertainment, that's great. If this other guy wants art to want the art for art's sake, then whatever. But at the end of the day, if you take that literal expression of art, it's all art.
Exactly right.
And to say that's not art, you're not denigrating the film, denigrating the people who spent 3 or 4 years making it, brainstorming the ideas, making the visual effects. You'll probably find the people who did the visual effects on Marvel films were doing the visual effects on Dune.
Yep.
Because most of these studios don't have huge VFX teams. They outsource it to smaller production companies.
Yeah.
There's a few in Melbourne, there's a few in Sydney that do a lot of the Marvel stuff, and were probably hired to do Dune as well. It's probably the same people.
Yeah, that's right.
Working on these movies.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what I don't know. It's like you saying that the person who worked on Dune didn't put as much love and care and skill into it as the person who made Guardians of the Galaxy or the Avengers.
That's right.
They put their same amount of effort into it for a different end game. Pardon the pun. But it's like you spend a life in advertising. You still do advertising.
Yep.
I worked in the advertising for about 10 years or so. And you can't say that even though we were doing stuff for magazines and catalogs,
junk mail and stuff,
the people who put the work, whether it's the photographer, the stylists, anyone working on the shoot, put their all into those to make it the best product that they could.
Yeah.
And you can't say that these people worked less than the people who made a feature film.
Yeah.
It's just a different thing.
Right.
So anyway,
I'm glad you brought that because I was going to bring that up anyway because it's like what I did for a living or we did for a living, and I still do, is pure commercialism at its finest.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But the effort I put in to create that is an artistic process.
Yeah, exactly right. You're creating an art.
It's the same as if I was out doing landscapes for art's sake.
Yeah.
Or shooting whatever.
Yeah.
As a piece of art. I put the same amount of effort into it. I use the same skills, and the whole process is all the same. It doesn't matter whether you're shooting for art or whether you're shooting a commercial image. Same thing.
Yeah.
So if you've got a commercial film or you've got an artistic film or a documentary or whatever, the same effort goes into it, the same skill go into it.
Yep.
So, you know.
It just feels like in this day and age, again, we talk about how we're moving into this era where it's so streaming. People aren't appreciating the content. It's content. People aren't appreciating the art that they're being given. They're, give me my content now, give me this, and the way they just, it's so easy to just be so flippant of the people who are behind these things.
I wonder if that content label gets in that way.
Of course it does.
Because, you know, you can go out with your mobile phone and and do a 30-second TikTok thing and put it up straight away and someone's going to call that art.
Yeah.
Well, it's not art.
Yeah. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah. And that's what I'm using it as an example.
Yep, exactly.
Someone will go, that's not art, but someone has put some sort of creative effort into producing that piece, even if it's like a 10-second TikTok. They've gone through some sort of creative, artistic process to make that piece of what is essentially a piece of art.
Yeah, exactly right.
You know, so that's my sense, and I just feel like it annoys me because people can be so flippant of artists and the work they're doing to get this stuff out there.
Yeah,
and like it's why when I review a movie, I can't fucking rail on the thing, even if I really didn't like it. Like Cinderella, the Amazon movie, it was a dreadful movie, but I can't sit there and tear it down because I know there have been people out there who
put their
best effort in.
Yeah,
and some people will come at it. In fact, one of the people I was arguing with, who I believe is actually a patron of the channel, came at me and was saying, but, you know, Disney is, you talk about Disney and stuff and they're very conglomerate and they don't even look at their own work as art. It's all IP-based and stuff. That's a different concept, though.
Yeah.
You know, however they're treating the content is one thing, but the work that goes into that content and artwork is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, it's so flippant. And then there's this other argument, which is, but these artists aren't making enough money. They're under oppressive situations and stuff. Doesn't matter.
Artists have never made money.
Exactly right.
Go right through history.
Exactly
you
right.
Look at somebody like Mozart.
Yeah.
Who was a musical artist.
Yeah, wouldn't have made any money.
He was bankrupt when
all these artists, all these great painters never made money in their lifetime.
Monet was another one. Oh, Monet's a bit different. He had a little bit of money.
Well, a lot of these people were broke most of their life.
Exactly right.
Disney was broke most of his life because he kept throwing all his money back into his films. Yep. So anyway, that's not my argument. My argument's not about whether these movies are good or bad or whatever you think about them. I don't give a shit. Have your own opinions, great. But don't denigrate the people who make the stuff for the sake of you going, oh, that's not that. This thing's better here. Get rid of that. That doesn't matter anymore.
You can rag on the storyline and shit like that, but because if it's a bad film, but the people that work on them, as you said,
don't drag down the artwork that's come out of the finished thing as lesser than. But like if these artists are working under oppressive conditions or whatever you want to say, you're not making much money or whatever. I mean, where we were working, that wasn't a great environment some of the time.
No, exactly.
But you still did the work and you still used your energy and your artistic prowess to get the job done.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I was producing or what I still produce occasionally. It's your reputation.
Oh yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, right. So you're like with the people that make whatever film or documentary or whatever they're making. They put their heart and soul into it, just like I do when I go and shoot some crappy bloody product for some third-rate retailer.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying any of the ones I shoot for now or in the past are third-rate. What was I saying? Yeah, so you still put that same effort in, and you still know that you're, particularly with film, you're only as good as the last one you made and the last job you did.
Yeah.
So if I was to go into a client and I was to produce some really nice work for them, and I thought, oh, fantastic, we'll send more work his way, and I keep getting more work, and then one particular job doesn't go well, then I lose that client straight away because that last job I did was shit and they can't trust you anymore.
Yeah.
Although you've done 50 in the past that were, top notch.
And then you got no work.
It's the same thing. That's
then
right.
you got no money.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So so they'll put their effort into it.
Exactly right. I feel like it's like, don't just think about what you're saying. I know
exactly.
I know it's so easy, but there's hundreds of people putting their everything into these movies day after day, year after year, trying to put out something for you to enjoy, and whether that's to enjoy for some entertainment or to enjoy as an artistic piece. Don't blur that line between the meaning of art, because whatever you've used, anything you've used to put out there as a creative piece of work, to use your skills, your talent, is art. And unfortunately, even this podcast is art in its own way.
That might be a stretch.
Might be a little bit of a stretch. I think, though, at that, I reckon this show's almost an hour, 2.5 hours.
Wow.
So let's cap it off without any questions today. I think
we'll
we're just going to close it off. Thank you, everybody. Let me just make sure I'm on the right thing here. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Thanks so much for listening. Particularly that last chunk, I didn't mean to go on for that long, but it did anyway. Hey, it's the 50th show.
Well, it's something we're passionate
hours.
about.
Exactly right. And we'll have to get it out there.
Yep.
And it's 50 shows. We're allowed to go a little bit over time.
Woo-hoo!
Look, that is all we have time for today. Thank you for listening. The podcast does go out every single Monday on all the podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible. The visual element is available on YouTube 2 days earlier on the Saturday to Patreon supporters. You can head over to patreon.com/Dave Lee Down Under. Don't forget, the podcasts are on their own separate channel, so head over there and subscribe to that as well. You can find me on YouTube at Dave Lee Down Under, over on Twitter, Instagram. There's links in the description of every podcast for everything, for all of that. If you want to write into the show, you can shoot an email to daveleepod@gmail.com. If you're listening on podcast platforms, please leave a review and a rating.
Only good ones.
The good ones help. Thank you so much.
Bad ones don't.
YouTube preview last week, just a bunch of cartoon news. That's all I got out last week. Some new Looney Tunes stuff, some Tom and Jerry news, all that kind of shit. I did a video on the Random Space Media DreamWorks collections. If you want to get a better look at them, again, you can go over to randomspacemedia.com and use Dream15 for 15% off those. I did a great collaboration. Oh, jeez, hiccups again. Great collaboration with Lydia from The Simpsons Theory a few weeks back. If you haven't checked that one out, go and head to her channel. Check out The Evolution of Duffman. I did that one. That was fantastic. This week, nothing huge this week. I'm working on my next Evolution video. I'm very excited about this. I'm preparing for it to flop because it's not a cartoon evolution this month. Next month, it's not going to be a cartoon evolution. It's a pop culture evolution. I'm very excited to do it. It's just something that I felt passionate to do a video about this. And it's going to go out there. We're going to see how it goes. I'll probably announce it during the week. At that, we're going to close this out. Thanks to old mate Rick for joining me once again.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks to everybody out there for listening. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.
See you guys.
See you later.
Stay safe.